Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 8 of Big Deck Energy. This week we're going to be going over the BNR from last week.
Yes.
Yep.
16th. Yep.
Some more Bright Light spoilers and more.
Absolutely.
I'm joined today by my hosts, Josh and Tyler. My name's Bailey. We got Ben on here.
We got Ben on the mic, hot and ready.
All 4 of us back this week.
Yes, you're back in studio.
Yeah.
Had to work like last weekend, didn't you?
Yeah. Such as retail.
Yeah. That you got to love that life, don't you?
It's not that bad.
It's okay.
The weekend thing kind of blows.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would suck. I would hate working on the weekends. Yeah.
Well, since you're back in studio this weekend,
who
you were
does
able to
that?
hit the Armory this week. How was everybody's weeks for Fab Life?
It was an interesting armory.
Yeah, we had a good one. All of us were able to show up,
Hoot hoot.
Well,
except for Cliff.
everyone except for Cliff,
Yeah,
who
he said-
talked a whole talk about. I think he said it last episode. He was trying to come back down.
He sure did. He
I
talked
was,
a big game.
but I wouldn't have been leaving till like midnight, and then I would have had to get up and go to the armory and then drive back on Sunday. And
Excuses.
no.
And then this
Excuses.
dude last night was like, "Oh hey, are you coming up to Duluth for the armory?"
Post.
And then I couldn't even end up going to the armory, unfortunately.
No.
It is what it is.
Oh, wait, you mean last weekend?
No, this weekend.
Oh, well, Cliff,
This
why don't you
weekend.
start? Why don't you tell us how your guys' armory went with your buddy that you just got into the game?
Well, neither of us were able to go today because Wes has a guest up this weekend, so no flesh and blood for him.
Shout out Tom
And,
Tyson.
I was gonna try to make it to the armory today, but it just didn't end up working out with us wanting to record at that time. So other than that, my week in Fab was just keeping my ear on the ground for the new spoilers for Met cards coming out, and we
There's
got
some spicy
juicy
ones.
trinkets. We got some juicy trinkets, boys.
Yeah, we do. We got a lot of good ones to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to recognize, shout out to Wes for last weekend. He went 3-0 in his very first armory.
That was the armory
Yeah.
I was asking Cliff
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he was taking too long to get to
Right, my
it.
beautiful creation.
No, shout out to you, Wes. Good job for taking down your first armory 3-0 with fine blitz. That's a good way to do it.
First armory ever.
Yeah,
First
first
armory
armory
ever.
ever. Not
Yep,
a
first
bad start
armory
to the
ever.
career.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't complain. You know, Fi's a force to be reckoned with in
Yeah.
blitz.
Oh, yeah.
He's super good.
I
So
think it's a great hero for new players to
Absolutely.
learn the game with.
100%. I completely
Yeah.
agree. Bailey, how
I had good
was
feelings about it.
how was your week?
It wasn't terrible. So I played Vincent yesterday.
Boo.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I don't want to
Emperor
hear.
event?
So I was going through my Emperor deck beforehand, and I had like all of the illegal wizard cards. I had like Minnowism, Belittle,
Hey,
Aether
that's still legal,
Wildfire, Aether Flare, not Minnowism.
In blitz, yes, it is.
Yeah.
The whole thing is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck.
it's a great combo in it.
I
To
actually
be
have
honest,
it, I have it in my deck.
I was about to throw it in mine, but I steered away.
I was going through it and I was like, God, I can't do this. Fuck. Well, anyways, no, I still had like all of the illegal like wizard cards. I had like
That's fair.
snapbacks and everything, and I was like play testing it beforehand. I was like, damn, we're kind of rolling right now. And then I was like looking at the cards I was playing, and I was like, that's illegal. That's not legal. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But long story short, we ended up on Vincent. I went, I think, 2-2. I don't know. I can't check my record because I can't get into my Fab TCG profile still.
That's really
No.
that's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah, I've like sent a reset link to my email like 7 times and
And what-
just haven't gotten the link.
What? Oh,
So-
you just don't even get the link.
Yeah, so I'm about to reach out to James White personally. and be
You know,
like, hey,
I had that happen to me, and I had to go into like my junk mail. to do that.
I've checked there.
You have?
It's just non-existent.
So
That's
I feel
weird.
that.
Yeah, we were able to still find you on the gem system
Yeah.
and add you to the tournament. I remember.
I figured maybe after like the content creator registration, they went through and like looked at us and they were like, no, just deactivate him, get him out of here.
Screw you guys.
But
No,
I mean,
it's good.
they still found me in Gem, so I exist somewhere.
Still here.
Yeah,
Nice. So you went 2-2.
yeah, 2-2 with Vincent. I lost round 1, won 2, lost 3, won 4.
Nice.
So
There you go.
Our game was actually pretty close.
yeah, my game against Kellen, who was he on this week? It wasn't
Valda.
Emperor or Valda.
He was
yeah.
on Valda. Yeah.
That was probably the closest game I had all day. At one point, we were like down to like 5-3, and he was able to just sneak in and dominate. And I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
But it was a close one. Vincett's kind of cooking. It's coming together finally. She's still a lot of fun.
Can't put her past.
No. Well, just the value from rune gating.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
it
it's
feels real clean. I haven't played the
Yeah.
deck, but some of you guys have brought it to the shop. After
Played
she
against
was
it,
released
yeah.
and stuff, and it feels like you're a true mid-range deck. You're able to block mostly everything you want and
Well,
send. This,
yeah, you're able to block unless all of your D reacts are in your opening hand, and you have to banish them and then.
Are you
not
referring to
use
our
them.
game? Is that what you're doing right now?
Well, no. See, our game, I saw one D react the entire time, and the rest were on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
my D reacts were just all clumped together, like all day.
That's the worst. That's
was
when you space shuffle.
I did. I did. And then shuffled, cut everything, and they all just ended up right back in like the bottom quarter of the deck. I was
Tough.
like, what the fuck? Am I just not supposed to
Sometimes
block
that
today?
happens. Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
What
But
about you, Josh?
Well,
Centauri Saber Emperor?
we went wild
From what
with
I
the
saw.
Emperor. We went wild with the Emperor. Okay, so we tried a more warrior build Emperor. I was looking at the deck and I built it at like 7 a.m. the day before and not the day before, the day of the armory. So
Oh, like 7 a.m. that
yeah,
morning.
didn't have a lot
Sure,
of time
sure.
to build, and I had a lot of stuff going on that morning as well. But played Centauri Saber Emperor, went okay. Some games are close. I only ended up playing one Emperor throughout the whole day. Nathan right away at the beginning.
at the
got
Emperor event.
Smashed. Yep, got smashed.
Yeah.
And then I played a dash, got him down to 4, and then I died.
Who was on Dash?
Kellen Smith,
Oh,
our other
that's right,
Kellen.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he 3-0'd all the Emperors sitting at 15. Like,
Yeah.
just
Wow.
had a heyday with Dash.
I would hope so.
yeah.
Dash was cooking for him. But who else did I play next? I think I played. I can't even remember. Lost my third match, anyways. Doesn't matter. It was
What were
rough.
you, 0-3?
I was 0-3 at
Oh,
that point. Then we played our fourth match. Went 1-4. Had the swell tidings perfectly in hand just to do the final kill turn. So
Yeah.
worked out perfect in the end.
Yeah.
Sure. That last game.
But other than that, it was okay. I still had fun. Still had a ton of fun playing Emperor. Emperor is just a weird deck, and he's hard to figure out unless you've had a few reps into him.
Yeah,
That was my first time ever playing him.
When I was
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually haven't played him very much either, but I had him built from before. I did build him when he
Play
first
him.
was released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember joking like I'd bring him with you guys, and I just never did.
Yeah, I know. You'd always be
I'm
like,
gonna
all
bring him. Here
right.
we go. But
and you
Well,
flip
you
it
also
over
have the
and it's
Marvel.
like,
never had the
oh.
balls.
You have the Marvel Emperor too. So
Yeah, I do.
you're just flexing on everyone.
I
at
did
the
have to
shop
bring
at
that and flex
point.
it.
Well,
A couple of
that-
times I pulled the trick I pulled on Bailey on stream.
Flexed on me and
I
then
pull
like
out- I
pulled
pull
out the
out-
Marvel CNC like halfway through our game
No,
too.
what I did was I'd pull out the Fable
Yep.
foil one I have on purpose and put it down and go, nah. And I'd pick it back up and then go find the Fable and then I put it down. I did that
No,
against
no.
every
See, I wanted
opponent.
to. I want to do on stream show my proxied Command and Conquer that I had in there. I tried to draw a little.
Oh
No,
yeah,
I
that was
probably
funny.
shouldn't say it.
No, I saw that. That was too good.
It was good. It was funny, but
In an event like that, you got to make sure you're telling your players that it's okay to bring
Yeah.
proxies. We're just there having fun.
not
you know?
not everybody has the
Yeah.
average wizard cards like your Storm Striders or anything like that. So or
Even like
Flame
Command
Scale.
and Conquers. I
Yeah,
mean, those
Command
are
and
still like
Conquer.
60,
Right.
$70 a piece.
Yeah.
Storm Striders,
It-
Command and Conquers, yeah,
Yeah.
both expensive pieces.
Yeah.
Well,
Which,
how-
overall, the like price on equipment has been coming down a decent amount, which is nice.
Quite a
but
bit.
Still,
Honestly, I think it's just kind of across the board with card games right now. You see a lot of the sealed product going down too. Do you guys remember? I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that Tales of Aria first edition.
yeah. What was it like? 60 bucks.
$65 for
It's less,
for a
yeah.
box. Is it less than
Yeah, it's
65?
It has dropped less than that now. Yeah,
Well-
we were. I don't know what episode it was, but we had talked about what happens to that sealed product after.
Yeah. Tales
after
is kind of a special
Lexi-
case with all three of them being
See,
That's what I
gone.
mean. Like none of them are legal. So as a player,
Well-
why would you open a set that you can't play?
I guess
That's-
Lexi's still
that's what you're
about
technically
to-
legal,
Yeah, I know.
but
You're about to talk about Living Legend, and
Got a
yes,
week.
it will be a format.
Even at that point though, once they come out with something like they did for Dust Till Dawn, where they bring in some of those heroes
Yeah.
that are elemental, you just hold on to those sealed boxes and then you sell them during that time because
Yeah.
they will skyrocket it for people
I
that are
mean-
just getting into the game during that point. So
we saw it with like the Monarch equipment and
Yep.
even like sealed product to an extent, but a lot
did
of the
go up.
singles
Yeah,
skyrocketed.
Yeah, it did. And everything's kind of coming back down right now. Honestly, across the board, not just with Fab, but
True.
you look at Pokemon and Magic, and
everything.
except for Disney, honestly, the games.
Yeah, right,
Yeah, well,
But that's just supply and demand.
they've got their own supply issues right
It's
now.
supply and demand. That's simply what it is. They had no clue that like the actual demand for the game would be as high as it is. I think, and the supply just can't keep up.
Yeah, I mean, well, dealing with like the scalpers and everything too,
Yeah,
which
Factual.
sucks.
well, it sucks for a game like that. That's it's not. It's geared towards kids, but like on this weird like fine line, you know, where
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know it will bring in the players that want to like crack the game and play
Yeah.
it competitively. There's no like competitive stuff going on for the game, so there's really no reason to be paying $60 for
No.
these singles and stuff. So.
No, it's just the weeklies. There's no actual like full on Pro Tour competitive yet. So
Yeah.
until we see that, that's when we'll see more probably break out of the gate. But
Not to go on our weekly Disney tangent. I know Cliff's over there just freaking raging inside. Just hold on, Cliff. I want to say
I'm trying to like picture a Disney sponsored like Lorcana Pro Tour.
dude,
Like,
where do you hold it
not
at
many
Disney
kids.
World?
Not many kids will be there.
Do you hold
Yeah,
it at
yeah.
Disney
No,
World or?
well, I mean, yeah.
watch it live on the Disney Channel.
That's going to be a very different tournament look up than I think they're intending when it comes to Pro Tour.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, so a big reason of why I kind of got into the game was we were just getting into Pokemon with my son, and that kind of required us to travel to go to these events if we
Yep.
wanted to.
Yeah.
And then like our shop owner had the kit sent to him to start the Lorcana League, and I like kind of shot the idea out to my son like, hey, what about this game? And we opened some packs and we had some fun. We opened the Elsa fancy, you know, crazy expensive.
Yep. The super rare or whatever. Yep.
Yep. And yeah, I was lucky enough for him to take to the game. And
Yeah.
like if he wouldn't have showed interest, there's no chance I'm like actually there running the event and trying to spend another day of my week towards cards. My wife, luckily, I don't know if I've been on my best behavior lately or what,
She's
but
playing
she's
with or what?
I do want to get her there to play in one of the weeks. She knows how to play. We have played. She does like the game actually.
That'd be
you
fun.
guys have done some of the multiplayer, haven't you? Like your son and your wife.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you now, the multiplayer is where it's at. I think it's
Is it fun?
Yeah, one player wins rather than players losing slowly.
Mhm.
In Magic, you play Commander, one player loses, then 3 players are playing, another player loses. Now it's head to head. In Lorcana, someone hits 20 and they win. You shuffle back up, you play another one. Someone else hits 20, they win.
That makes sense. Make it one winner, not
and then
take forever.
it is you have the politicking where one person's clearly ahead in lore, the other 2 or 3 will say, okay, well, let's kill all of his things first, or hey, do you have the kill spell? Or
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
you get into your normal
Casual
politics.
commander,
Yeah.
like commander's type.
But you're
type
playing
play.
Disney. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't have kids and you're like scalping cards, like
Oof.
just sucks. I don't know.
That's so hard for me just
Get a
because
fucking life.
dude with
Bailey's pissed.
with my daughter growing up,
I just
like, wanna
it's
get
coming
her
from
into
like
it.
the retail side of me when they come in. They're just
Oh, yeah,
rude as
so-
fuck
yeah,
too.
you,
Like
You
They're
deal
all-
with it, I bet.
impatient as fuck, and they're like, "Well, it's supposed to be out," and blah blah blah. Like, no. And then they get all pissy when we start like limiting the product, and they're like, "Oh, well, I got like my son that wants some," and blah. I'm like, "No, you don't."
Yeah, he'd be here with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the hard thing is like I might look like a scalper to an extent, but I have a daughter at home that I like want to get into the game.
Yeah.
So it's like it's something for her and I to do as she grows and gets older, and like if she wants to do like cards like that, I'd love to do it with her.
Yeah.
But when people are
Well,
scalping,
I think
and charging
something's wrong with
$400,
that one, and you might have to
Well, so-
return it if she's not into cards.
That's first words Arsenal pass, right? Is that what we say? But no, I like Lorcana. It's a fun game. We had our first week of weekly play at our LGS.
Yep.
and it was fun. I even just played a pre-con, got my ass kicked because they're not good into the meta decks.
No.
And I don't even have any bulk to even do anything with because of the scalpers.
Okay. What I planned on doing, like, my whole thing with the Lorcana thing was I was able to get, the prices aren't $230 anymore, but our shop came out and said, look, we're going to charge $230 for a box, even when they were 3+. They were like, I think $350, and our shop owners were still like letting us, purchase them for that. And I had bought a couple of boxes.
Do they do MSRPs for Lorcana? I know a lot of TCGs don't.
Retail stores have to abide by MSRP, but if you're a game store, you can charge
but there is like a listed
it's
MSRP
$145
for the
for a
product.
box.
Because like I know Magic doesn't list MSRPs anymore.
Disney
Fab
have
has their like map prices, but no MSRP. So
Disney was $145, I think, $144.99. I think.
Yep.
It was, and then if you find them in Targets and stuff,
I mean,
it's
even
like
for
$5.99
like
a pack or
$230 from an
$6.99.
LGS, like you were saying, most of them were sitting like $3+ $100.
Yeah.
I was able to just open enough product where I kind of have all the cards I need. If you open a few boxes and you get pretty lucky,
True.
Yeah.
I pulled all of my Elsas. I haven't bought a single card yet, like an actual went to TCG and bought a single for a deck.
Yeah.
Like I've been able to build these decks that are
Yeah.
pretty much optimal.
Yeah.
I'm missing a
The-
few cards, but
The vibe I'm kind of getting from it is it's very like similar to Flesh and Blood in the fact that like the commons and like the rares do matter, and like they definitely do have a
yeah.
slot in your deck.
100%.
Like with Fab, like I mean, in Magic, if you played as many commons as you do in like your typical Fab or your like Lorcana deck,
Yeah.
it'd be playing with like a lot of draft chaff that just like
for the most part,
doesn't synergize well or something like that. But both of these games have done a very good job of making sure like, hey, the commons and the rares, like they still absolutely matter, and like
yeah.
some of them do deserve a spot in the main deck or sideboard or whatever.
Factual.
Okay, yeah, we should probably stop
Well,
talking about
okay.
Disney. Actually, we should get Cliff's take on Disney. Cliff, go. Well, what do you think? All right, cool.
Never played it, never going to.
You're asking for my take on Lorcana.
Yeah, jokingly, but I mean, if you'd want to throw something in, you've been kind of quiet. We've been talking a lot about.
I have nothing to input on.
Okay.
Lorcana.
Okay, fair
All
enough.
right,
We'll
now,
move on.
Now that we're
Another
past the Lorcana segment of our Flesh and Blood podcast.
Well, we were talking about our Emperor event. I guess I'll kind of go over some of my games.
Yeah, what'd you go?
I went 2-2 as well. Bailey, you said you went 2-2, right?
Yeah.
I was there at the finals. Well, so we play 3 rounds, and then we pay out 3 rounds, and then we play a 4th one just for fun a lot of times. So I was 2-0 with Carter, and he was playing like the absolute like spicy tech against an Emperor, like
Yep.
for the Emperor mirror, playing
Yep,
like
yep.
red brush offs from Arsenal against my
Yeah.
CNCs and shit.
I thought about that card, dude.
Dude, I was like, oh, this is perfect. It was just falling right into his trap.
I thought about that card.
Dude,
that was some spicy tech that he had in there.
like,
And the
oh,
fact
God,
that he
of course,
routed you
of
too,
course.
I think, in that game.
Yeah, he was playing Jubil. I had that at my sideboard, and I was like, well, the only time I'd actually bring that in is probably against like
The mirror. The
But
mirror.
then I like just was like, nah. I saw his Jubil, and I don't know.
It's still one for 3, and you also get to negate 1 arcane damage if they throw
Well, if
it
you're
at
playing
you.
a card like fucking Route, you need a sword.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
true. But it's
He
it's
routed
a,
me for Xaxes.
It's
so.
a great
Centauri
card to
Sabers.
have.
Yeah,
N-
yeah.
Hey, that's what I did, and it did not.
No,
go
I played
well.
Waning Moon.
That's I wanted to do like a Great Axe Emperor until I realized I'd be pitching 75% of my hand just to swing
Right,
my
isn't it
weapon.
3
Yeah.
resources? Yeah.
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 Which, I mean, you could maybe do some things with the flame scale furnace, but I
Yeah.
mean, you can't do that turn after turn after turn.
Well, I
You
think
can
if
utilize
you
it.
generate the 3 mana, you generally want to just go get the CNC. You know,
Yeah.
Axe, I guess, gives you kind of an outlet after your CNCs are all dried up. Sometimes it sucks. You'll get it in your hand. I ran into that yesterday where I'll have a CNC in my hand and I'm like, fuck.
You want
like,
to talk about that? I hit CNC on the first card draw, both like my 2 last games. CNC right off the rip. I'm like, dude. I was like, what's the point of my hero ability at this
Yeah.
point now? Now I'm just playing red line cards like this whole time.
Yeah.
It's oof. Because you don't want to sit on that in your arsenal until they get an arsenal card. Like I did that with Tucker into his Dromite. That was my 3rd match.
Yeah, I lost to Tucker too. He played a pretty
Dude,
perfect match.
Emperor into Dromite.
It's good to see him back playing that deck and
Yes.
like playing
Yeah.
it well and like, you know, enjoying Fab again.
He
and
always
just-
piloted that deck very well. He played Dromite pretty well.
Yeah, I just mean like he kind of stuck with it. He was kind of, you know, wondering what hero to play for a while there, and
Yeah.
he kind of came back to Dromai, and I mean, he played it well. There was a turn where he like attacked with a dragon that he definitely should have attacked with.
Yeah.
And then clearly didn't attack with another one the next turn where it just like the value wasn't there, and it's just good for him like to see him like
Yeah.
realize the math finally in Dromai, because a lot of the times you'll see a new player play Dromai where they're like, oh, I have just terrible hands, or like these hands aren't functional, and it's like a lot of times those hands you block with and you're fine with blocking with them. You
Yeah.
block with them, maybe play one dragon. You that's the turn cycle, and
Yeah.
and you're totally fine doing that with Dromai. But yeah, it's good. It was like 18-3 at the end of that game. Tucker just
Wow.
destroyed me.
Wow.
It wasn't close. It wasn't close.
Well, I mean, to finish off our armory notes, our Emperor event was very fun, but none
if
of us
you,
succeeded, I would say.
If you didn't get the chance
Carter won on
to
Emperor,
watch
though.
it live on
Carter
Twitch.
went 3-0 with Emperor. So shout
Oh,
out
he
to-
did?
Yeah, he went 3-0, and he did play Emperor,
Yeah, that is true.
playing all the
That is
tech
true.
against the other Emperors.
Props to you.
GG
Props to you,
Carter.
Carter. Yeah, that was a pretty good Emperor deck, especially for you not wanting to play it even. But
Right.
why don't we dive into some of the ban and restricted? That came out right at the end of our last pod last weekend, so we
We
didn't
were
really
right?
get to cover it.
I don't know if you guys saw, but we were right.
we were right.
It's
Bullseye Bracers coming back,
yep,
baby.
Yep.
Like it just baffled
Azaleas
me.
rejoice.
It
Riptides
just baffled
rejoice.
me how they banned it and didn't suspend it right away. Why was that a thing?
That's a good question. I think it's probably
It seemed like a very like reactionary move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean just to ban
I would
it
agree with that.
and then get rid of it. Well, since the ban and restricted came out, we had nothing other changes for that aspect for CC or Blitz.
Do you have the
It was-
BNR up, Bailey?
I do.
Do you wanna just go
I
through
think
it quick?
they
I know, like we like hit the recording last week right before
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
announced it, so a
Yep.
lot of people will obviously know about the BNR from last week's pods and stuff. But
We also just want to give our 2 cents about like what's going on with that BNR and what they brought up throughout the whole BNR, as in the LL point change and how we're getting more draftable in sealed sets
yep,
for limited play.
So yeah, officially Briar is LL in
Yep.
CC. No longer legal, along with Rosetta
your
Thorn.
favorite.
just-
Bailey
Love it.
gets the fucking kumbaya over
I'm
there.
gonna go on another rant about it if I keep on this for too long, but it'll be nice to see some variety in the weapons that Rune Blades use now.
Rune
I'll
Bailey.
just-
I like that.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it'll be. Do we know? Did anyone from the shop get on the honor roll?
No.
I know a couple of us have been on for some of the other ones. I know we had Carter on the honor roll for Chain.
Yep.
He was on it for someone else too, wasn't he?
No.
No, I think it was just
It
Chain.
was going to be Vincent if he beat
won a
Joe
skirmish.
at the skirmish.
He won a skirmish with Chain.
Who?
Joe has points on Dash.
I think someone was on it for Oldhim. Or am I just
No.
no?
Not somebody from our shop.
Do they even
Starvo?
count? Do they even count? No. Do they even count? Because I was the only Starvo player that played at our shop.
Maybe I'm just misremembering things. I don't know.
Do they count limited skirmishes, as in like drafts?
LL points for the heroes, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, that'd be like a totally different thing, I think.
Yeah.
Why did you get there? Did you get there in one?
Well, you and I had a controversial last match.
Yeah, that's
we never finished, but no,
Hey,
it would have been a
sometimes-
rack.
Sometimes
you
the
know?
prizes are just too good.
I know.
And two buddies hit the
Let-
finals, and
Let me tell you, that box was dust. I got nothing.
I'm happy with that. I got my Azalea. Out of
I
it,
know
so
you sold it right away. too.
No, fuck no. I have that Azalea
You
to
got
this
it?
day. Yeah,
Fair
of
enough.
course. It's on the backside of my full art.
It was at like 100, wasn't it? Even more, maybe.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
Once I would get a car like that, I usually.
That's true.
I used to watch the market all the time, dude. All the time until I had kids and like a family. Now I don't have any time to sit there and like look at market prices and watch the fucking
Dude,
graphs. And
Dude, I use that.
this is
that
the hot card of the week.
for any listeners out there, and you don't have any like good Fab things. I think this app that I have that is fantastic. It's called Fab, just FAB by Dragon Shield. Bailey showed me this one.
Yep.
You can scan it. It pulls up the market for all the cards that are changing daily, weekly, and monthly. Highly recommend it.
Cool.
100%.
Yeah, it's just a good way to kind of gauge what's going on with your collection.
Absolutely.
you kind of get like that nice like overarching view of like, okay, like some of these are moving upwards. Like overall, like I'm pretty up on my investment. Not that like you should see it as like
An investment.
purely an investment, but it is
no,
an
if you
investment.
guys- I don't know if you guys remember early on me like kind of selling the game as if like if you guys get into it now and you buy product, you buy these cold foils like years down the road. It's now years down the road. I like told you guys. I don't know if you remember those conversations where I was like, these cards will be worth something,
Yeah.
and you guys
It's
will be
been-
considered like I don't want to say
Beginner.
grandfathered
Yes.
in, but you were there at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
We were a year late, but still.
Well, right, but you were like 3 or 4 sets in. Or,
Dude, I
what?
sit here and just like
Tails was 5.
I beat myself up
I think
almost.
so.
Yeah,
A lot of people.
I beat
entered with
myself
Tails.
up almost like not knowing about the game sooner, right when it dropped.
No, you didn't want to be there for Monarch, dude. That was a people.
I'm
lost,
just saying,
people
like,
lost,
Welcome to Wrath, like
people lost so much.
Alpha. I'm saying Alpha and like.
Yeah, but I
Arcane.
think
Sure.
even by the time that like Drew was kind of cluing you in on it, like Alpha was pretty hard to come by even at that point.
Oh, it was insanely
Yeah.
expensive still. $4,000.
yeah, I mean
a
even
box still.
Arcane first by the time that like Drew was getting us into it was getting up there too.
Shout out to our executive producer. He bought 3 packs of Alpha on his birthday to treat
Yeah.
himself.
Oh yeah, definitely
he
shout
ripped.
out to Noah Farbs, man. We wouldn't be able to do this fucking podcast without you.
No,
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
The work he does behind the scenes, it definitely just keeps this rolling.
I love it. No, he bought 3 and he ripped a remembrance and he's like, it's $800. I was like, it's like 200 maybe. He's like,
Oh, he did get.
no.
He did.
He
hit
did
something?
get the
Oh,
rainbow
Rainbow
foil
foil
remembrance.
remembrance.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out
Very
of his 3
cool.
packs. So still good for like. I mean,
Yeah.
he paid $50 a pack. So
Yeah, when I got into the
$150.
game, Crucible boxes were like $99.
First,
Yeah, yeah. And it was right before Unlimited for the first 2 sets were out. So if you wanted to play those cards from the first 2 sets, you had to buy first edition.
Alpha.
You know.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, gosh, I should probably just wait. So
Yeah.
I didn't buy like these cold foils for a few $100s. You
Factual.
know, like I remember Tunic, a cold foil Tunic was like $500. Right when I first got into
You
the game.
should've.
Oh well. No, no, I shouldn't have.
Dude, I heard DM Armada talking about that. Like, I could have bought a Alpha.
Oh, it was dumb.
Arcane.
Heart, dude, the
case
heart
for,
was like $800. I remember looking at a cold foil heart for like $800.
You should have.
So
I've seen you pull the trigger on bigger things. On
Well, at this point in the game now, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was still a lot of uncertainty at
That's
that
true.
point in the game as to like whether or not
Especially
it was going
being-
to.
I wanted to
During
play it
COVID?
too. I wanted to play it, and I knew Unlimited was coming out, and the shtick with Unlimited was, hey, come, you can get to play the game now.
Yeah.
These prices are gonna, you buy Unlimited, $80 a box, you get all
Factual.
the cards and then you get to play the game.
Yeah.
And that's what sold me, honestly. Me being a collector is just kind of secondhand,
Yeah.
to actually playing the game. Let's get Cliff's. I'm gonna bring it back a little bit to the Briar thing because we are talking about the BNR.
That's true.
I know we're not right now, but Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff,
played
you're
a lot of
not playing
Briar.
Starfield right now, are you?
Probably is. He's
No, I am not. I promise I am not.
You played a lot more Briar, I think, than probably anyone here. So let's take. I want Cliff's kind of take or maybe send off on Briar because she is finally gone and Rosetta is out of here. What do you think about that, Cliff?
I think it'll be a good kind of change for Flesh and Blood. Just kind of losing that elemental hero presence for a little bit. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for people to reevaluate, what a deck is capable and what its goal is. Because with those heroes in, you just had a couple other factors to keep in mind. The Frostbites you had to keep in mind for any of the Earth abilities for card draw or anything like that. The
Yeah,
lightning
Frostbite's
for
really
Delegate.
really mess with Briar.
yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Yep.
Yep. There was just a lot of interactions to keep track of. I think the game's going to be a little bit more simplified now that we're not going to be seeing that elemental presence, at least until Icelander also goes. But since she's the only one,
Yeah.
we're just
Well,
gonna be
Lexi-
dealing with the
Lexi-
others.
she's not the only one yet.
Lexi can
But-
play ice cards.
I
Yeah.
think
Lexi's going to be gone.
I think LS has kind of got to the point with like the BNR, where they were like, she's 2 points away. Like, there really isn't a point to shaking things up and really taking anything away from her. Like, just let it run its course.
Yep.
Let her LL.
I think that's why we saw no changes for Lexi this time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same thing. I think that plays a huge
Well,
factor. Just
We
get her
did see
out
one
of the game.
change, Bullseye Bracers is moving from banned to suspended until Lexi
That's true.
hits Living Legend.
Yeah,
Good.
I don't know if
Which
you listened last week,
I-
Bailey. We predicted, or well, we had. I don't know if we predicted. We kind of had said like we
I
hope,
mentioned it
We
big time.
hope that
Yeah.
Bullseye comes off the ban list once Lexi goes.
It makes no sense to hurt the other two Rangers with that ban being Bullseye Bracers
Yeah.
for Lexi. Sins.
The other options are honestly just
All
fucking
12
dog
Riptide
water.
Yeah.
players rejoiced when they heard that
Because
news.
the other Rangers can't even use shock charmers, and that's
Hey,
what
whoa,
people
whoa,
thought
whoa,
that were
whoa,
going to
whoa,
be the
whoa,
tech
whoa.
for it, and it wasn't even close to the tech for it. Like, that's the worst thing about it, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you have no options. You have to run a whole extra sideboard for that null rune equipment,
As Azalea, right?
and it makes no fucking sense. It blows my mind. But
No, I'm so happy we're getting it back. I've been saying ever since that card got banned that it was just the wrong choice. But
yep,
it's awesome. Like kudos to them again. LSS just always they're so transparent when even like they kind of seemed like there was a part in that article where they kind of came out and said maybe it was a little we did go a little too far. You
Yep.
know?
Yep.
And just for them to even come out and say that is just like I don't know. Kudos to them.
yeah,
And
it's good.
companies don't have to do that, especially card gaming companies.
That's
Like
the
some
one
of
thing
them
I
out
like
there.
about this game is that they're actually here for the player,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And I know we've said that 100 times, but they truly are, and they're easy to read too. They're awesome.
Yeah, they've always been real honest about things.
yeah, and even like the transparency around the next BNR,
True.
where they said that they don't intend to like shake up the meta,
Yep.
and it's exclusively going to be used for like Living Legend
Yep.
housekeeping. Which
I love that.
I mean, Lexi will be gone by then, so
The question
that'll be like the
becomes
one
Icelander.
change that we see.
Yep.
So even though it won't be official by that point, because it's only like 11 days before Worlds,
It is
like,
11 days. Yep.
I mean, going into it, like people should have the expectation that
Wow.
Leslie, nice. That's a good one.
My brother in Christ, would you like to buy a vowel?
Okay.
but they should still be going in with the expectation that Lexi will be gone.
So
Yep.
the reason why we think Lexi will be gone, with the BNR announcement, they came out with that RTNs, PTQs, and skirmishes, is it?
I believe it
All-
was skirmishes.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like
all the tournaments that
all
are
like
2
the higher
points.
levels of
Will go
organized
from
play.
2 to 4 points for Living Legend.
Yep.
And that just, with Lexi at 9, what is she at? 9?
She's at 998. So I mean, even at 2, she
Lexi's
would.
at 998?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. She needs
She's
like
at
70.
She's at like 940.
She needs like 60 or 70.
946.
Yeah. I thought it was
100%.
Okay.
946.
Yeah,
Because
they-
we were saying it was going to be
Bailey,
potentially
look that shit
30
up.
RTNs. Yeah, Bailey, look that shit up.
Also, Bailey, hey Bailey, bring that shit up.
Yeah.
or pull that shit up. Sorry,
Pull
even
that
I
shit-
got
it
it
is
wrong.
pull that
Fuck.
shit up.
Bailey, pull that shit up. Oh, I know it was. I'm getting it confused with Briar because she was at 998.
Briar
before
was
she
at
left.
998.
Lexi's
That's
at
probably what you're
926,
thinking of.
but
926, not 946.
she. It's. I mean, it's almost a certainty.
74 points.
with that change, like we were saying, because the rumor was that she was at 940, which was the rumor, and they were saying that it was going to need to be 60 RTNs or 30 RTNs for the 60 points because you get 2. Cut that in half.
Right.
15 RTNs.
No, so I think players are obviously going to create their decks without Lexi in the format or thinking Lexi will be out of the format. The question becomes if Icelander will be there. And I think,
Yes.
honestly, 11 days beforehand, expecting players to... I mean, we're not, like, professional players, so, like,
No.
this is kind of, like, our opinion coming from the outside looking in. But, like, if I were playing in that tournament and traveling across the world, and then, like... And they did say, we'll have a good idea with the weeks coming up to it.
Of the meta.
If Icelander will be close, and she will be close, but I think how close is the question. If it is that like fine line of, oh my gosh, she needs 8 tournaments one weekend
True.
or something, and then she gets 6 or 7, it's like now your deck totally changes and you have 11 days to figure it out.
We do have. Don't we have a few battle hardens or callings in between too though? Don't we have like one calling and a couple battle hardens?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
If she hits one of those,
No,
Who
I know.
knows?
I just it's the cynic in me
I
that
just-
looks
it's-
at the the worst case scenario is her being close, but not close enough where it's for sure.
Yeah.
And then that the week before that 11 days is it's like. Yeah, there
Yeah,
could be a
true.
world where you're forcing these players to build basically two versions of a deck and then being
Yep.
prepared for both, which is just not saying none of these players can't do it. They're all fucking
I mean, there's a reason they're
Wizards.
professionals and we're not.
True. That's true.
so true.
We're here to commentate on it and give you our 2 cents. But
Give you our wrong takes.
so, what do you think this is gonna do to heroes in Flesh and Blood with the 4 LL points for like going across the board? Do you think this will help rotate heroes out sooner so they can
Yeah,
get more
and-
heroes into the game? Like since we're getting 4 or 3 new heroes out of the new set, that's making 4 mechanologists that are into the meta now.
Which is
That's
awesome,
a
by
large
the way.
stack of cards coming into the game for 1 hero.
Yeah, and I think they were pretty clear with their intentions on the increase in the announcement with most of the sets coming out being limited ready sets and
True.
everything like that. Like there's going to be a very high number of heroes introduced.
I think we're going to see a big change in the Flesh and Blood world.
I don't know if anyone's kind of like caught on to the. I don't.
So is
I-
it the
I
end of
haven't-
like supplemental sets then?
No.
Or are we going to see like
No.
supplemental sets in the style of
They
like
might be.
Dusk Till Dawn?
I think that the expansion slot kind of shows that they're thinking about it. I don't think it just ends this year or anything. I think they're slowly trying to get away from supplemental sets,
Yeah.
which is good. I think that's good. I think they can't sustain a supplemental set the way that they could in the past, with there
it's-
being 8 heroes or 12 heroes or
Yeah.
whatever it was. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That it's bringing in a whole new archetype into the game with those younger heroes. All the card support that you get for every hero. Crucible of War was an insane set. I will say. I loved every card in that set that buffed every hero in there.
no.
that-
Crucible will go down as like one of the most powerful sets of all time. Like it'll be
It was a lot of fun to open.
It's wild. But you look at Everfest and Dynasty.
I got that case still. It's got
You
your
do?
name on it. Yeah, I wrote your name with a piece of tape and I put it on it. Just
Did
for-
you actually?
I should take a picture. Dude, it's like you got. What did they say? Manifest. And
So-
you got a I knew that was yours, and I put.
So potentially coming on the pod, we might open up a case of first edition Crucible.
I've been trying to get him to get this case for me, for the low. Well, actually, I think I wasn't really at the low at first.
No, you were still
It-
low
it-
low
it dropped
TCG
too.
and everything.
It dropped 2 of those.
Did it?
Fuck yeah.
I'll still pay you for it.
No. I wouldn't charge you more than market value at all. No, I'd charge you less if anything,
Who knows?
especially for the channel.
Fuck around, rip a cold soul
It's yours.
shard.
Yeah, if
no,
you pay me
no,
for
no,
it,
no,
it's
no,
yours.
no.
'Cause you want me to
you
buy
can't do
yours.
that. I got. Listen, I don't need 2 of them.
Oh, you got 2 shards. That's right.
Yeah, I got 2 shards. I don't know what happened with my like fables in the last like 8 months, but there's some that I cannot rip for the life of me. Like I opened a good amount of Dynasty, no CNC, nothing like that. I've opened a good amount of Wraith at the like beginning,
Audience,
no
are you hearing
heart,
this guy?
nothing
Should-
like that.
Should go out in my living room right here. I got about 26 boxes of Dynasty, not one Fable.
And
I feel like because that was a gold foil, it was like.
You ripped one, pipe it down. I don't,
Yeah,
I
but
don't want to hear
okay,
it.
dude, I'm actually not very good on my Fable rates. Like,
Are they rough?
dude? And I've opened more boxes than both you probably combined. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious, dude. It was like for a while there, it was like 4 to 5 cases every set. So, yeah, dude.
So,
Okay, this actually-
listeners, if you need bulk, hit this guy up.
Did I tell you guys Nathan's gonna sort my bulk? Yeah. I was like, dude, just keep all the if you have all the play sets, just you keep play set of every common, every uncommon, every common, every rare. I said if you find a majestic, it's yours. If you find a legendary in there for some weird reason, it's yours. Probably gonna give him some cash too, but dude, I can't wait to bring 30 pizza boxes to him, and then he's gonna be like, "Wait, I didn't know it was
This
much."
many? Yeah.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Audience, someday we'll do a tour of the studio. I'll display all my boxes, and we'll get all Ty's extra boxes and
I
Bailey's.
don't know if you want those, dude. It's bad.
If you want some common decks, Give us a ring.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go, some commoner stuff. Oh, back to the BNR, they did mention some commoner, like deck structure, I think, or there was like some more rules
Just
on it.
that it's gonna mirror the like blitz changes with the sideboard, everything like that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, none of us really play commoner, but I know people out there do play it. And,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a different type of Flesh and Blood, where the ceiling is mid.
Yeah, every format though forces good cards out of it. So if you play commoner to the best of its like ability,
True.
you could still end up with a pretty strong deck. I feel
True.
like.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, I remember I made a dash deck that was still pushing 20 something damage with commons, and it was
Wow.
like, okay,
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, Dash just kind of does that.
Dude, Ira and Commoner, beautiful.
is it?
Her.
I just said we don't play commoner. Here we are talking about we played, and I have played a little bit. of
I've
it.
played
Yeah,
a little Commoner.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
who hasn't? But like Ira with her Whirling Mist Blossom
Yeah,
specialization.
the fact that she gets that
It's
at
common.
common.
Mike Jaw like kind of dropped like that's a common.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
It's the
Draw-
only
draw two
specialization that's an
cards?
actual common.
yeah.
draw 2 cards.
Interesting.
Nuts.
Seems
And
like a strong card.
oh,
in
I
combo.
won an event with Ira Commoner.
Really?
Yeah,
You played in Mound?
Wow.
Yeah, blackout.
okay, yeah, I know they used to
blackout
play
kick
Commoner.
combo is like the biggest combo you can do, and it's so easy because they're all commons, and it deals 14 damage in a turn if you get it off.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
So
that's she kind of tears up in the commoner meta.
yeah, she's good.
That she just it's the fact that she's so consistent, like that +1 to what is it, your second attack every turn.
Yeah.
Like over the course of a blitz game, that's an extra like 6 or 7 damage.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's huge. That's a great ability.
Yeah.
And it's so easy because it's not really like interacting, and you get to learn off of the face of the cards what it does. Then you get into the hero and your equipment when you get into the larger stuff,
Yeah.
like legendaries. But
Yeah.
with the BNR, they also said that we're getting a lot more limited sets in the future,
Yeah.
as in sealed and draftable sets. Are you guys excited for this? How do you guys feel
Yeah,
about sealed and limited?
What I think I was about to say it earlier, but I kind of like lost my train of thought. I have been kind of like, I don't know, the growth of the game or like the new player rate right now seems just not as good as I've seen it in the past. You know, seeing new players at events and stuff. But I think a lot of that is just due to like there not being a true like 4 new classes, 4 new heroes, and actually. Like with Uprising, we got 3 pretty unique heroes, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like we're not getting decks and new heroes because we
Yeah.
are, but nothing feels like Arcane did or like Wraith did. I think those are the last 2 like 4 hero sets that offered each different classes. After that, it's all been 3
yeah.
Yeah.
and some variation.
I think 3 is kind of a nice sweet spot though.
It helps with team sealed.
It very much
No,
does.
I guess what I mean like there hasn't been a set with every hero truly being new. There's like different
True.
this is like Uprising is like a different version of an ninja,
I
a
get-
different
I
version
get
of
what
a
you
wizard,
mean.
and a different
I get what you mean
version
now.
of an illusionist.
Yes.
Whereas imagine a new set
classes.
where there's an alchemist, there's a necromancer, there's a
The assassin, because
Playable
it's still
merchant.
somewhat
no,
new.
I'm saying like literally 4 new classes.
Pirate.
in
Bring
a-
pirate.
Come
Whatever
on, they are,
dude,
yeah, fucking
bring
pirate.
pirate.
You know,
Let's
let's kill
go.
all these scallywags or whatever. like,
Let's get Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's get Jack
I
Sparrow.
think
on
with
it.
the announcement of like what you're saying, this limited thing, and them doing more limited sets, it just brings. I think it's going to bring more excitement into the game,
Yeah.
and I think it's very much needed. I don't know. The mech set is
Well,
either hot or
that's- yeah,
cold
what-
with players.
What are the
I've seen.
classes mentioned in the lore book that we haven't seen yet? In
Necromancer
like a playable
and
set.
Alchemist are the only ones that I've noticed. Assassin
Well, I
was
thought
before.
there was an alchemist.
Well, Alchemist, Necromancer, and then Assassin wasn't named when that was leaked, but now Assassin is into the game. And that was like right before Dynasty, I want to say it was. So we were all like, bring Assassin, bring Assassin. And we got Assassin.
And
No.
then again, it was 1 new hero.
Yeah, I would
Like everyone's
love
excited
to
for one
see
class. Like I don't know.
Necromancer. Like I
Yes.
want to see more like graveyard play.
That's Cliff's alley. He was,
Yeah.
who were you in Scarab God? Zombies and Magic
Sir.
Cliff?
Yes, sir.
I've heard Cliff talk millions of times saying that he wants a Necromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, Cliff?
I want it. I want it.
So Cliff, what's your thoughts on the LL points and the whole draftable sets?
I think it's a good idea. Because like you guys were saying, I think it gives the opportunity for the meta to have that turnover more efficiently a good chance. So that we're going to see more heroes being highlighted as the meta rotates, they get into that top spring.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to see how that advances the heroes that have already been out for a while but haven't seen much play. Like they'll win an event here and there, but they don't like make it to top 8 at Worlds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'll have to kind of keep an eye on which heroes are kind of on the sneaky up and up.
Yeah, it seems like, honestly, it kind of seems like at first the game was really pushed with like Monarch and Tails. The power creep was real in those sets. And then they were kind of like, after that with, I mean, Tails was so strong. That set.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at all the heroes being almost
The
banned.
elemental was
But
so strong.
Yeah, it's almost like the power creep, power creep was real for a while there for a few sets, and they realized it, and they were like, oh, we need to like pull back the reins. And now like Outsiders comes out, and they kind of pulled back the reins and went back to that like generic, old way of playing Fab.
Yes.
And then they're like, oh shit, now we have to kind of crank up the, pun intended by the way, bright lights, crank up the, power a little bit. And I feel like if they give us a set with 4 heroes that are really fleshed out, that they like have tested and it's new classes, give us some, they're going to give us some power to get people excited about the game again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we're kind of on the ebb and flow right now.
Very few like actual playable cards that came out of Outsiders. I feel like outside of like some of the rares and the majestics.
Codex of Frailty would like to have a talk with you.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
well,
like-
you
like
talk
there
about
was- there
any
was
of the
gems,
the generics that came out of that set,
Yeah.
like
Trying
Down
to
and
think.
Dirty,
Down and Dirty's pretty good.
Premeditate, I guess you could say, but really only Azalea plays that, and Riptide.
Yeah.
Tell
I
me,
mean,
tell me another one.
No, you guys are probably right. I mean, I'm just immediately thought
E-
of Codex.
even Dust
It's
Dust
very-
Till Dawn.
It's probably one of the most egregious cards they've ever printed.
True.
Yeah,
Codex.
it's very reminiscent of like early Magic, right? Like you had like the Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, like the power levels were just through the roof, and then they were like, oh, we gotta pull back, and then you had sets like Homelands, and everyone was kind of like,
Yeah, what the
like,
fuck is this?
Like we gotta crank it up a little bit, and then they went into things like Mirrodin and stuff like that, where they started to crank it back up, and
Yeah, shout out
I
Mirrodin.
think-
That's like where I got into Magic, right before Mirrodin is right when I got into it. Like
yeah,
10,
I think
10,
every
12
card
years
game
old.
kind of just goes through that like evolution where they're like, okay, whoa, like we're doing a little bit too much now, like we gotta pull back, and then they're like, okay, well, like
That's a little too much. We pulled back.
we can turn the dial up
Yeah,
a little, like one or two more notches up, and I
I think that's where we're at.
Bright Lights, I think, is gonna be kind of in that sweet. There's some really strong looking stuff coming out, but I think it'll be kind of like in that
Yeah.
sweet spot where it's not like through the roof
Yeah.
levels of power, but it's not gonna be like, okay, like are any of these like really playable?
Items don't block, man. I'm telling you, I think that's gonna be a big problem with people thinking they're gonna just jam all these items in the
Yeah.
deck. You know,
They don't block.
Yeah, that well,
They pay.
Make- Cliff, how
That's
many
why
times
it's
have you
gonna
been
be
stuck?
Fun, it's going to be fun seeing the adjustment period with everyone
Yep.
getting into mechs.
It's the
Because,
best
like you
time
said, Ty,
best time.
items don't block.
Mm-hmm.
So
many times
you're
have you
gonna
been
be
stuck
running into people.
with item heavy hands at the like end of a game.
Yep.
That is why the card Vesertronic, the headpiece, is so good.
Ooh, should we get into some
but
spoilers?
now,
Hold on. I wanted to bring up one more thing. So, with us getting out of Dusk Till Dawn and into the Mechanologist set, Bright Lights, what's your guys's... Did you guys listen to the ISP podcast with Brian Gottlieb, his most recent episode?
I still have yet to go back and find it after he like got his own
Rebranded?
channel. I just forgot to go and find it again. And
It-
honestly, like,
He's had a lot of good people.
no, I know. I love listening to Flake. He's got a great podcast.
He does.
And he has like all the big wigs on.
So Brian Gottlieb even said like that they missed with this set, like heavily. He's like, we tiled it back with Prism and Vincent.
Dude,
like,
there was,
the
like,
power levels
three-
are insanely low. He's
think-
like, they're not even fair.
I think there was 3 new Light Illusionist cards.
Yeah,
Go look at the Light Illusionist cards in the set. There's 3 and they're
Yeah.
all unplayable.
all the other ones are heralds.
There's cycles. There's 9, so I guess there's technically 9. You get the red,
The
yellow, blue.
angelic, yeah,
Yep.
and
Angelic.
they're
red.
bad.
Yeah.
They're bad.
I mean,
they're bad.
how do you print a new Light Illusionist and give her 3 cards that you just don't play?
And he asked it.
That's well, I again like coming out of Monarch, right? Like the light, the shadow. For Prism and Chain specifically, like those power levels were through the roof. Like,
Yeah.
So how do you?
And-
That's what they were saying. Like, how do you like?
How do you
level
balance that?
Yeah. How do you balance it in the meta? And
Like,
you
and
can't.
they didn't.
you
Like-
can't.
like,
Like-
you don't want to go back to a meta where Prism and Chain are just tearing through it, right? It'd be like another Starvo situation where they LL in like 7-8 months.
That's
But-
Lexi right now.
That's
Yeah.
what they did with
She had
Prism.
like 200 points before this season, I think, or something.
Yeah.
She was very low.
400, I think, right? Because she gained 500 over the Dust Till Dawn season.
Oh, you could be right actually. Yeah, it's four.
Yep, she like doubled it almost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
She went burr with Outsiders, but like the fact that they even like notified that they missed on this set is huge. They're being very transparent to the players, and they're saying, "Yeah, we missed it. We wanted to dial it back with like nationals coming up with everything. Like, you can't have two heroes that instantly come out and just run the meta. We're gonna have another Starvo situation.
Well, again, it's a supplemental set, dude. It's like after Crew, have they really hit the supplemental set? Dynasty was like
Everfest was
everyone.
kind of a whiff.
Everfest
I
was
actually really enjoyed opening that set.
Yeah.
The cold foil items sucked, but like there were cards in that set that
that
were
were powerful.
very good. Yeah,
I'd say it definitely goes
that
Crew.
set gets a lot of flack, but
I definitely, as you see on the wall, I'd almost say that's like the level you go left to right. You go Crucible
I noticed
first.
that Crucible is an unlimited box. Josh, I have this first edition
hey,
case.
hey, no, who changed the thing? It was at a middle finger.
He noticed.
Come on,
Damn it, he noticed. He's
I
not
wanted
supposed
it.
to notice.
But Crucible's for the video portion, if you're looking at it, Crucible is definitely the best. Everfest second, with Dynasty being third, even though it was a nightmare of a set. I will have to say.
See, again,
Dust Till Dawn was even
dude,
worse.
I loved opening Dynasty. Are you kidding? It
I did like opening it.
People hated the set, right? Because there was not a lot of playable impact that
Even
came with it.
Warrior.
They give us
Got to give the Warrior notification
Yeah, yeah.
here. They got a little buff, but even at that
Brutes too. Remember all the Brute cards?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Brute's coming," and then
point, no,
kinda.
nothing. I don't know.
Definitely
I mean,
improved the deck, though. I mean, some of the
Yeah.
Drill Shot, dude. Drill Shot was in Dynasty.
Yeah, drill shots.
I think
just-
Heat Seeker is in Dynasty.
that-
you know, Ranger got some
going
powerful
back to like
cards.
the playable
Um,
comments in this game.
Barbed
like,
Undertow.
I don't play that card. Not the aim counter. Aim counter makes it just.
True.
if you're not playing with aim counters, Barbed Undertow gets significantly worse. Like
Yeah.
it's
Riptide,
still,
it's amazing
it's,
card.
it's
I could
pretty
see that.
efficient.
I
It's
think
a
it's
one
made
for-
for Riptide, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
I could see that.
it's a 1 for 5, I think.
Yeah, too many times
Yeah.
I've just
Yeah,
shot that arrow
like,
for 5
it's
damage
just-
when testing it.
yeah.
I was like, nah.
if it was a popper, that's way different.
But Azalea already has a lot of like 1 for 5s.
Is there only
that just
one
have
Ranger
hits.
popper? Like one arrow? Right?
Bolting
battering
shot, or
bolt?
battering bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's like
think-
the one we have.
I think that's it.
that is the only one.
Anyways, we're
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, we're kind of spinning off.
Some
well,
bright light spoilers.
Yeah, we can get into that.
we're gonna dive into some bright light spoilers here. Before we get into the bright light set, I wanted to toast to all our friends to the new bright light set. But two of our co-hosts here are deciding to be alcoholics and drink their beers way too fast. But I think Cliff, you still
gonna
got
open
your
it.
beer?
We're gonna open
You
it
got
right
your
now.
beer ready?
I got my beer.
All right, let's crack it in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I already cracked it.
Oh, okay, make that 3 alcoholics.
So you're the only one. Shit.
Shout out to Excelsior Brewing Company for the beers. They taste fantastic. But why don't we get into some bright light spoilers here and get into some of like the limited play that we'll kind of see, and
You guys
since
excited
that'll
for
be
this
premiered,
pre-release?
I'm excited.
So I was very.
You guys both coming?
I'm coming. 100%.
Bailey.
He's gonna work next weekend, dude. It's
Is
every
it
other
next
weekend.
weekend?
It's
Next
next weekend.
11.
What day?
Saturday.
Saturday.
At 11.
11 a.m. Yeah.
I'd be there for the first part.
Dude, just get the packs.
And I wish we could start earlier.
I was talking to Steve, and he wants to be able to give us the original sealed for $40 we pay in, and he'll give us 7 packs.
That seems insane. Are you sure that's what
Are
he
you sure you
said?
said 7?
100%. He said he wants to give us a 6 for 40, and he goes, screw it, I'll give you an extra pack. This is when I was talking over. We got a new poster in our set room, but it only fit in one spot. It's the Avalon Archangel of Rebirth, so
Yeah, it's
Shout out to
crazy.
Legends for that. But yeah, he wanted to give us 7 packs for $40
Awesome.
of the new set. I
Yeah,
was baffled.
I'm stoked. I mean, I haven't really looked too much into the spoilers, to be honest. Shout out to one of our locals, Nathan, for basically being the spoiler god this season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's been
I mean,
fantastic.
it's like all day he will post these spoilers, and he's keeping everyone in our local shop up to date, which is just awesome. If you listen, Nathan, thank you, and it's been very easy to keep up.
Also,
even though
get
I
on
haven't
our
been.
Discord, Nathan.
Yeah.
I just, dude, this week, like I said to you before the pod, this week
There has been
busy.
some really spicy stuff
Yes.
spoiled.
I'm not going to be able to help too much. I'll be able to kind of go through and evaluate with you guys, but
Oh
a
my
lot of these
God.
cards are my first time seeing them.
Oh my
so-
god.
Did something just get spoiled or what?
No, I never saw this spoiler. I'm playing mech solely for the fact that I can now play Big Bertha.
Oh god.
What?
So
Okay, so let's start our Bright Light spoilers with Big Bertha while we're talking about it. It's a popper too. It's a
Ooh,
common.
Did
it's
you
a
see this?
common
Have you seen
popper.
this one, Cliff, yet? Big Bertha? Have you seen Big
I'm
Bertha?
I'm trying to figure out where,
Frantically, is he
where
just sitting
that
there
one
going,
got
"Ah,
posted.
It's a red 6 power for 3 resource, 3 defense, boosts. When it's banished from boosting, put a steam counter on a hyperdriver you control. So, Big Bertha doesn't seem too bad.
Tribal Hyperdriver, huh? This set sounds
Yeah,
like
there's some
Tribal
there's a
Hyperdriver,
lot
baby.
of hyperdriver shit.
it's gonna be like the.
Well, there's hyperdriver tokens now.
yes, with the new hero, Max
Nitro.
Oh, quick aside. Did any of you guys read the lore about him?
No, not yet.
Any you want a little taste, or
No, let's hear it. I'm a lore guy. I
know
wanna
I
hear
said
it.
I know I said I didn't have any time, but like I felt so unprepared with this pod that I wanted to do something that I thought maybe would contribute. So I read the article. It was just a few paragraphs. It starts off he's in prison. He's locked up for something I don't think we know what he's locked up for, and he kind of goes back and tells us a little bit about his past. He hates Dash. He calls her the Teklo princess. He hates Dash. He comes from probably, it sounds like a poor sort of socioeconomical.
Kind of like the pits part
He
of
hates the
Bright
high
Lights.
up,
Yep.
and Teklovasin is like the Antichrist to him. I think he hates that guy. He hates the Teklo
I need to read
industries and
this.
yeah.
I need to read this.
He also was in an orphanage with, if you guys remember the assassin story with Azalea around Christmas time when they would talk about the Arachne. It was Lena Bell, Arachne. I think even Dash was in the story, but they had saved some orphans. I don't know. But that story, he kind of was one of those orphans, is what I'm trying to say, and he knows Lena Bell, so you get a little glimpse into him
Ooh,
with
talk
Lena
about her.
Bell, as orphans, and then he breaks out of prison basically, and the story ends, and
Sick.
you just kind of know he hates Dash, and there's some weird rivalry there, and the art at the end is pretty wild. This guy seems like a madman.
The old art, Max the Hype Nitro, looks
Do we know if-
pretty sick.
Okay,
He
I was
looks
just gonna
badass.
ask. Do we know if we got an adult?
Yeah. we got an adult.
It's the art that's on the end of the.
Got you. I
lore
was gonna say,
spoiler.
that look. I'm just looking at it now, Josh.
It-
And we haven't gotten an adult Dash. We know we're not getting one. Is that the case?
No, we are.
I heard
Dash
that
Dash Evo, or what? Or
So it's not the same hero
I don't know.
as Database.
I don't know. It's Dash. Remember the art that we got of the older Dash
That's
with
what I
like the
thought.
mech suit?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll have a new ability. It's not going to be the same ability.
I don't know. This might just be for limited. Who knows? Because she has a
No.
full name Dash
Is it a token?
database.
No, but look, is it a token?
Yes.
It is.
Interesting.
I will say though, the fact that a mechanologist gets the weapon wrench. That's amazing.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
Hey,
that's pretty
and-
good.
That's
It is
awesome.
a specialization play, or for all you Shyana players. It doesn't look
Ooh,
like it'll
we got a
really.
new shine on the card. Let me look at this.
It looks pretty bad in
It
Shyana.
does. It does.
It does
nothing.
nothing.
For you in Cheyenne.
Okay. Yeah.
So the max,
It's a non-player.
the max specialization Bansky is his weapon, the wrench.
Banksy.
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 Thanks.
Oh,
I kinda
okay.
like
Cliff, you can't laugh at all. You have
No, I
no
can
ground
laugh
to
at that
stand
one.
on.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Shut up,
So-
Hanabi
so one-
Blaster.
So once per turn
Mr.
action,
Radine.
pay 1 resource. All right,
The bright light spoilers are just gonna be us ripping on Cliff for pronouncing shit wrong.
Yep. I just wait for more in this episode. You'll hear Cliff saying some wild words, but once per turn action, you pay 1 resource attack. Activate this ability only if you cranked this turn. So if you've cranked one out, you get to be able to activate this.
If you what?
Cranked one out.
One more time? What?
Cranked one out.
Okay.
I can't even say anything because my mind just immediately went to the gutter when I saw
Oh, there
That's
was
the
no
point
way
of
not
saying
to.
it. When this hits a hero, put a steam counter on an item you control with crank. It comes in for 3 damage. 3 for 1 though.
Yeah, it's a 1 for 3.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's on
Well,
rate.
Yeah.
That's
Most
good.
Yeah.
That's a Dawn Blade right there.
If you have more
It's a
than
1 for 3 with terms and conditions though.
To an extent. But I
Like-
mean, I feel like with Max's ability,
You're probably
be
gonna
that
be
hard.
cranking it every turn.
you're gonna be cranking one left, you're gonna be cranking one right. Right? So little humor for you guys out there.
LSS, please don't actually deactivate my account.
So quick question for you guys. Cliff, I want you to start. Which hero are you most excited about for this next set out of all the 3 heroes that we've seen?
Oh,
It's gotta be
shit,
Max,
that's
right?
A good question. Honestly, after seeing all the new cards coming out, number 1 is probably Max.
I called
Just
you for
because
saying
it-
Dash. Tough.
Josh was just pointing at
The-
Dash.
The interaction
I'll talk
between
about it
the
in a second.
crank and the strapping and the boosting, with that ability just to create a hyperdriver, that puts him very quickly able to do
So-
a lot per turn.
Yeah. So he's your true aggressive mech, right?
Yes.
Well, he's the item. Man.
He's the no. He's
Or,
the
no, no,
boost.
no, he's the
He's
boost
the
mech.
boost mech.
He's
100%.
the boost.
Yeah, he
guy.
cares about boost. He gets the free resources, so
Sorry,
you gotta
Dash is the
utilize
item
them.
mech
Like
this
Max V seems really strong in him, right?
Yes, maximum velocity,
I'm
100%.
Getting all your
secondly
hypers out there?
most
And
excited-
hyperdrivers just
wait.
give you resource.
Wait, aren't you? So
Yes.
Cliff, weren't you kind of playing hyperdrivers over a lot of these other what these mechs were doing kind of in this last season and stuff? Like you'd start with
Yeah,
hyperdriver
they-
out there instead of.
Plasma mainline.
No,
was
I
it?
start with a plasma mainline.
Oh, okay. But the goal was to
And
then
then-
keep your hyperdrivers going with it, right? Or something like I
The
remember you really.
hyperdrivers in Techlocore, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so then you can play out your
So-
full 4-card turns, right, Cliff?
Well, she can pump
Max
out.
is literally just a mechanologist built around what my current list is.
That's what
So
I. Yeah,
that
that's
is
kind
why
of
I'm
like what I
excited.
kind of just realized.
Yeah. I'm uber excited for that. It's going to take some adjustments because I obviously won't have access to Techlocore and I won't have access to my beloved Spark of Genius. So that's going to be a tough one to work around. I am also extremely excited for Teklevasen.
And we haven't seen any specializations for Max yet, have we?
Except for his
Yes, yes, we
Except for the
have.
wrench.
He's wrenching one out. He's cranking it out left and right.
So I'm going to go look it up again, but there's another thing that I want to bring to you
I
guys.
definitely would have put him down for Dash.
Same.
Well, is the Construct Nitro Mechanoid a specialization card?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
So since we now have a hero that can just create hyperdrivers out of his asshole,
It makes
well,
it way easier. 100.
Sounds
Yes.
terrible.
Yes.
So painful.
Bailey, how about you?
You ever
Who are-
seen one of those things? You ever seen a hyperdriver, bro? Dude, it's so
Lightning bolt.
spiky.
That's a hell
look
of
up the
a
art,
balance.
seriously.
I
Oh,
don't
no,
know
no,
why they
I've
have
seen
for-
it.
for the ability.
That'd be a hell of
Hyperdriver's
a thing
wild.
to pass.
It looks like our logo almost, you know, a little spiky, little electric. Did you guys see that they made a new Quicken token?
Yeah, the new art. I did see that.
I like
That's
that.
funny.
Way better.
Is it at the bottom?
Yes. But yeah, hyperdriver, electric chair.
that looks very cool.
Electric chair is what it is. You just sit down on it. But Bailey, who are you most excited for coming out of the set for like limited wise and
So before I get into that, I want to talk about Dash database real quick. The very first line of her text box. You can look at the top card of your deck at any time.
Yep.
There's a reason Sensei's Divining Top is banned in a lot of formats in Magic because it promotes slow play by just looking at the top of your deck all the time.
It's true. I could see
Like,
there being an issue when you're dead to price and you're still sitting there looking at the
what have I got on top again? Can I?
See, when you got the optical monocle too item, and you can opt one whenever you boost, and then you can just look at your top card again and just go, and just sit there and
Double
time
opt.
walk. Yeah,
Just double
you just
opt.
time walk the game even more. So it's like,
Well, I mean, you're just
No, you're not time
stalling.
walking. You're just stalling. Like
time walking by yourself. Okay,
There you go. There you go.
the ability to play items off the top though is
Yeah, last
pretty
week I had
cool.
these two convince me it was good. I thought it was a terrible card. Well, I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think
Whoa.
it was as good until they
you
finally
said terrible.
Did I say that word?
Quote you on
Did
terrible.
I say that word? I don't know. But they eventually made me realize that you get to play an item on both players' turns if you want. So
Yeah, well, because that's
the
an
potential
instant.
there is right, and it says any turn. So.
Once per turn.
Or once per turn,
Once per
right.
turn, and it doesn't limit an action or anything. So, So after that, who are you most excited about?
I think Tech Levasan is kind of my jam. I like playing with more than just my library, which is why I like the Shadow Heroes so much. And just having access to like a second hand in your banish zone and playing out your evos. Like I just get such like Iron Man vibes from him, and I'm a big Iron Man guy in the MCU. Like it.
I agree.
I haven't even looked at like how I would build him, but he looks very interesting. I just want to build cool suits.
The Evos seem pretty sick, and they
Well-
all correspond with each other.
Did you
And-
see the new legendary headpiece?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
You wanna-
Hyper X3?
Do you can you bring that one up, Cliff, or do you want to read that one? I actually wanted to talk about that one.
Yeah, I can. If you're talking about the one I think you're talking
Hyper
about, I've got it pulled up
X3?
on the February here. That one. Yeah. I got to scroll all the way up to the top of the page. Holy crap, that's a long way to go.
we have
Be
it here too.
advised,
If
folks.
you
There's a
want us
lot
to
of
read it.
spoilers. Go ahead and read it. I'm still scrolling up. Oh, found it. Okay. We have the Hyper X3 Mechanologist headpiece. It is 1 block with Battle Worn. Whenever you banish a hyperdriver from boosting, put it under this. Once per turn, when a hyperdriver is put under this, if there are 3 or more hyperdrivers under this, draw a card.
Interesting.
Once again, playing right into what my current deck is kind of trying to do.
See, and
However,
that's
with the
what I like about the
I'm
Hyper
excited.
X3 is that it's just a mechanologist head and not like an Evo, so it can stick to that plain dash gameplay.
Yeah.
So you can have a total of 9 hyperdrivers now, right? We got more than the red ones in
Yes.
the last supplemental, right?
In
Yeah.
Dynasty, yep.
we got the yellows and the blues, and then we also have Max's ability. So
Right, but
But
it doesn't create them in the deck though.
Yeah, you have to.
True.
It's when you banish from boosting. When you banish a. See, this card actually
but
kind of
also
seems.
remember
Go ahead.
the a lot of the new pieces we're seeing is allowing recursion from the graveyard and banish zone back into the deck. So after
Right.
you boost off a hyperdriver
Sure.
or you use them in that ability, you're able to cycle them back into your deck.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that. I feel like you might activate this card one time in a game. And that's like, if you're lucky, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the hyperdrivers you'll draw, you're going to want to play. Or I guess that, when you do draw them, this becomes just less good because you want them to be in your deck and you want to be boosting them. But you also want to draw them. So I don't
Yeah.
know. This card is kind of weird to me.
All right.
But again, dude, my card evaluation skills, guys, so bad.
The one I'm more excited about is the adaptive plating.
Oh, God.
We almost made
Here
our
we go
logo
again.
with
I
a similar
think that
art
card's
a
than
trap.
this or of this.
It looks very interesting. And
It's a
You guys
I
want to
think
read
it's
it?
a trap.
Want to go
yeah,
through and read it?
so adaptive plating, it's a legendary mechanologist equipment. Just equipment
Yeah, what does that even
with
mean?
with modular. So it can be equipped to any equipment zone.
Wow.
And it has the subtype of the zone it's equipped to. An action for 0, you can equip it to another equipment zone. So you can move it between equipment zones.
Sure.
When it defends, you can destroy an item you control. If you do, it gets +2 defense until end of turn. Which is also a new keyword, Galvanize, that's made an appearance on a few cards now as well.
Yeah, Galvanize seems cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
So,
kind of cashing in your
you-
items to block with it.
You might
right?
not get
Like,
D-React still, mech players. Womp womp.
You get
but-
blocks though. Did you guys see the new card type?
Yeah,
Block.
the block. Dude, that came out with the...
Bailey looks super happy about that card.
Did you not see the meme I sent?
Yeah, I did.
Where it was like,
I did.
the corporate wants you to find the difference between the picture. It's literally like a fucking titanium bauble.
Yeah. No,
Like,
you're right.
Maybe I'm just not in the mech mindset, and Cliff can give us some insight here. But in what world would you ever include just like a block in your deck?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, can you block from it or with it from Arsenal? Is the
No.
question. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Well, no. Are we sure? Do we have a ruling?
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think you can.
Just because you like
it's not like
technically-
D-Reacts where they're being played. Like it,
Right,
it
right.
specifically is just meant to block.
You can't block from Arsenal, so a card that says
Yeah.
block makes sense. You can't.
Yeah.
You obviously can't do it. But I was just curious. You know.
No, it's just wild. It's a weird card. I don't know how I feel about it. It's
It looks very interesting for the Evo kind of game plan, because you can you should be able to Evo things over it.
well, yeah.
The
it's like one
modular
of the,
plating?
Yeah.
No, I do not believe so.
Are you sure?
Because this card is missing a keyword in its description. It's missing the mechanologist base.
You're right. You're right.
So then
You're
what's
right. Base legs, base head, base chest, base arms.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right. You're
That's
right.
why I
good
think
catch.
that card is a trap.
what is the
The
point of it?
only
then?
the way I see it being viable is you get your mech like the Evo, it breaks, and then you can flip this one up into that equipment slot and maybe try to get something else. But you're costing yourself. I think that card is a trap.
True.
We've
At
seen
least
a
from what
lot
I've seen
more
so far.
of
How-
the Evo equipment, and the one that caught my eye was the one that you can equip at instant speed.
Which one is that?
It's one of the Majestics. The
The-
Evo, so the head's the Evo Circuit Breaker, the
there it is
Evo
right there,
Atom
yeah.
Breaker. It's the breaker set of
I
equipment.
feel like that's the more aggro aspect of Evo.
Yeah.
I wonder
Would
if
you-
we'll
would
get
you
different
say?
archetypes with the Evos.
Also, did
playing
they-
defensive, playing aggressive.
True. I think that's what we'll get with like Teklovasa being the more
Josh.
defensive.
Can you hand me one of the like regular cards from back there, quick? Just one of
regular
the
cards?
regular ones, like the heart or something. A regular card, like a Heart of Findel.
What about a cold foil Genesis?
Yeah.
Cold
that
Foil
works.
Genesis
Okay.
work? A regular card, hard to find out.
What are you doing?
They moved where the like set symbol and the like rarity symbol go.
Oh, the bottom of the card. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like completely straight now
Yeah. Yeah.
on
Well,
the equipments at least.
That's Marvels. I think that.
No,
down
just
here.
on,
He
like, the
means
regular
text line,
equipments,
the actual
yeah.
text line on the bottom of the card.
Yeah, I see that, but that's not every card.
no, but it's on the equipment.
Yeah.
Unlike the ones that go on your deck. Interesting. That's interesting.
I mean,
It doesn't like change anything. It just
you're right. The equipment's yes.
It goes all the way across the border, and it's kind of weird.
yeah.
For some, I should say. For
For
I
the
think,
Evos.
I think that's the ones that are going to be Marvel. To be honest.
No, what?
Well, no,
It's
there's,
on the
they're-
commons.
They're freaking. Oh wait, no, these ones aren't.
No, the
Oh,
commons are not.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think
Yeah,
that
you-
no. I think it's
The
the Marvels.
Evo data mine, Evo battery pack. Look at that. Look at where everything is on those. It's in the same spot.
Today on episode 7 of Debate Club.
But the Marvels that have been spoiled so
Yeah,
far
but if you
have
look
all
at
had
the-
the purple triangle on them.
Yeah, but if you look at the
no,
base,
yeah, you're right, Bailey.
the
I mean,
base, though,
they
are
probably
fine.
would just put the fucking triangle in there.
Yeah,
to let us know.
They do. I mean, they
So
have.
this is like my ADH brain just leading us down a whole rabbit hole now.
Which ones are even going to be Marvel? They
The ones
barely even show.
so it has the purple triangle on the bottom. Like look at Singularity.
Ooh, we should
It
talk
has
about
the-
that card actually. That's one of the cards that I saw just briefly where I was like, dang, like we get a new
Demi hero.
sort of, right? Isn't that
No, he's gonna be a demi hero.
Yep.
100%. You're gonna transform.
Transform
into-
it.
yeah.
There you go.
love the border on that card.
Did you see that card, Cliff?
Yeah. That
Do
card
we
looks
know what
very
the
interesting.
construct is yet?
No.
We haven't seen the backside.
Nope.
No, if you remember, they had this weird barcode thing blocking out the text on the headpiece with the intellect, and then I think
Which one was that?
the
Evo Steel Soul
Evo-
Memory.
I think so. Yeah, you get like plus an
Yes.
intellect, and then you get
Oh,
like plus
what?
more intellect. Did you guys actually read that
I
card?
did
after?
not see that.
Yeah.
We should read here. Let's read Singularity and then move on to that card actually, because they did reveal the other half of that card.
Oh my
and,
god. Okay, so
Well, hold on.
just-
Yeah, read
Cliff,
it-
do you want to read it?
Did we read Singularity yet?
No. Do you have it pulled up, Cliff? Cliff, pull that shit up.
Yeah, Cliff, pull that
Yep.
fucking shit up.
I was
dude.
looking at Evo Steel Memory again. that's
Yeah,
all.
no, go back
So-
up to Singularity.
Yeah, Cliff probably hasn't even seen the other part of that card.
Read it off
Alrighty.
to us.
I don't have the card text revealed for it. I have the barcode.
For Singularity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is what?
yeah. Read Singularity. Which one?
Okay.
I've already moved on.
So Singularity is a mechanologist action construct. It costs 6 resource to play, 3 block. It is a legendary Teklevasan specialization. You play this card and you transform your hero, your weapons, and 4 evos you have equipped into 01101, the binary code.
yeah,
We don't know what the actual text for
the
what
binary
the construct
code?
is yet.
yeah, right.
Okay, so what
It'll
goes
be
with
strong,
that?
I bet, right?
What goes with that though, Cliff?
There's
is
a lot
the
going on there. You need 4,
4 Evos.
so
Four
you need
evos.
to transform 4.
Yeah. You
Oh
need to
wait,
get
is
a
it called
full suit.
transforming? What is it actually
Yeah.
called?
No, you transform.
Okay.
It's called
You have to
transform.
transform 4 of them
robots
and then
in
pay
disguise,
6.
Yep.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But Cliff, so the Evo Steel Soul Memory, which is the
I didn't see
headpiece,
the other ones that came with it.
they came out with the other part of the text. So if you have a base head equipped, transform it into this, then equip it this. When this transforms,
4
or
cost.
or yeah, 4 cost, 3 resource pitch, blah blah blah. You get the gist. Evo with a different name, your hero gets +1 until end of turn, +1 intellect that is. If that Evo is a hero, instead this triggers twice.
Going up to 6 intellect. I think that's a first, right? I don't think
That,
it,
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we've seen like the one that comes to mind offhand is the Guardian, the Helm of Eisen's Peak, that for an action gets you 1 extra intellect until end of
Pursuit of
turn.
Knowledge is kind of one of my
Yep.
Pursuit of
go-tos.
Knowledge.
I love pummeling that
Nourishing
card.
Emptiness and Warrior.
Yeah, yeah. So we've seen a few different ways to get 1 extra intellect.
Not 2 though.
Yeah.
Not 2.
2 is crazy.
Can we get Dash up to 5 intellect with this? Or Data Doll up to 5 intellect with this?
I think so.
Cliff, I need
That
you to
would be
start working
fat.
on that. What about the
Will
other
do.
Evo Steel Souls though?
So the Evo Steel
Oh
Soul
my
processor,
God.
processor, 4 cost, 3 pitch. It's the chess piece.
Are they all 4 cost? They are all
I think
4 cost.
I think they're all 4. When this transforms from or into an Evo with a different name, gain 3 resource. If a Evo is a hero, instead trigger this twice. So the fact that you get to trigger everything twice is nuts. You
So
gain 6
six
resource
resource.
in 1 turn.
Lets you play for lets you play Singularity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
what would
that's
happen
crazy.
is you'd have to play Singularity for the 6 resource, and then it would float you 6 resource.
No.
That's how that
No, you
because
just-
it's when
you
it
just-
transforms.
Yeah, from or into. So like the
Yeah.
turn that you transform it either gets you 3 or it gets you 6.
Yeah.
And then you get
And
to,
then you
yeah.
play the Singularity off
Yep.
of the 6. They also all block for 3 with temper.
What is up with that?
Which is
Holy
12
shit,
life,
dude.
well, 12
I guess
life
you
off
do
the
have to
first
like
block.
you have to put resources into these cards. So like they're giving us value in ways that like make the resources worth it. You know?
Yeah. They're also not legendary.
Right.
Well, they're majestic, and I feel like that's the majestic part of their equipment.
So does that
base
mean
for
they're
'em.
they're 3 blocks from hand too? Because the other equipment that goes in your deck is like 1 or 2 blocks.
Holy fuck. That is a good question, dude.
I don't think so because
I
it's
think so.
No, they would not.
I
okay.
think they.
Okay, hold on.
Yes,
hold
it
on.
would be because it's
Yes.
an action equipment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
It
let me
would
just.
be.
They wouldn't put a block value on a card down there and template
Unless it
it,
had it.
and template it the way that every other card is templated, and then say no, sorry, the evils you just can't block with. If that was the case, they'd put it on the card. They'd
Yeah,
say you
like,
can't.
this card can't block.
be
Yeah.
exactly from hand or something.
So-
So you're definitely able to block with the card.
So if you're paying off the benefit of
they're all
4
3
resource,
blocks, too.
they are gaining 3 extra block off the value. If you have all your Evos and you just end up blocking with it and not using Singularity, you're getting 3, 3, 3, 12. Then you're getting 2, 2, 2, 8. Then you're getting
Sure.
one.
Yeah,
That's 24
Oh my
life.
God.
That is insane.
If you were to block with everyone.
yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. No, it is. No, it is.
The fatigue gameplay in this build with these Evo Steel Souls, insane.
Yeah, I don't think you want to play more than like one set of Evos.
No, you
Yeah,
build
definitely
your deck
just one.
around
Yeah.
the Evo. I feel
one.
like
Which I actually think is kind of cool. Like you get to see the different archetypes maybe of the Evo
Yes.
deck being just
Yeah.
different suits of armor, right? And
Yep.
then you can build up to like that crazy final boss mode, armor.
Yeah.
Or construct, I should say.
and I feel like with Singularity, the other side, like the Evo Steel Souls, like
Those
even
are
just
very
getting
much
your
the, like fatigue kind of control gameplay.
and if you notice that each of the Evos like have different colors. So there's a blue set, there's a
Oh, yeah,
red
that's-
set,
yeah, that's a
and
good
there
point.
is a yellow set.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So-
I didn't see that.
The aggro version, I
Is
feel like, is the
there a-
Evo Circuit
is there
Breaker.
a set
the
of
Breaker set.
Yellow Majestics, or all the yellow ones rare? So
The yellows are rares only.
far? Interesting.
Yeah, so obviously the effects are going to be different. I feel like if you're going for the Singularity build, you almost have to go with the cheaper version of them. So like the zeros, it might be easier with to be able to get them all out faster. To be
Yeah.
able to go to Singularity.
Yeah, it's pretty clear the
Well,
red
but
ones
I mean,
are like the aggressive.
Like Evo Steel Soul, you're kind of just controlling the game until you get it too.
That's where the
Like,
control aspect
yeah.
comes into the game.
Yeah, so I think it slots into both game plans.
But you're not
The-
playing both though.
The
No.
the question is, do you run Singularity in that red line like Evo Facebreaker like
That's a question.
aggressive build?
I don't think so.
Like,
I think
like
you
out
want
of
to
the
be getting it faster.
Aggressive dashes
Well,
aren't running.
does
the
it not
Mechanoid.
depend on what Singularity does? The other part of that card.
I mean,
Don't we
yeah,
need to
that's-
wait to see
that's
what
true.
it actually does?
That
Because
is true. That is
maybe
very
you just
true.
don't want it because of the effect afterwards. Like if you're playing the breaker suit,
Yeah,
don't
the breaker suit feels very aggro.
some of them seem
Very
sweet, man.
aggro.
I
That-
like just want to shout out again. Like the flavor of card games is kind of what sells me on games. Sometimes when you feel the flavor of a card, not to talk about Disney again, Cliff. Okay, but they have an Ariel card that is when she is a human and is walking and has legs, and she lost her voice right in the show. There's an ability called Singer in that game. She can't sing when she has legs on the card.
Yeah.
Okay, flavor win. Okay, I'm sold. Like that is my
Factual.
shit, dude. Okay, that is my shit. And you like the flavor of this set feels so cool. I'm not even a mech player, and it just feels so cool. It makes
It
me
does.
want to play mech. I probably still won't be playing any mech in this set,
I might dabble with Tech Lovason.
but
We'll see.
no, I'll just let you guys have that fun and just read in the ledger, you guys. You're trying to boost me.
Wait
No.
until we get into
Yes.
the sealed though, dude. I want to try
No,
sealed.
yeah, sealed
Team
is,
sealed. with
sealed's
this.
gonna be fun.
One
you're
dash,
right.
Yeah,
one
Team
Tech
Sealed,
Lovason,
That would be
one-
great.
Yeah,
That'd be a lot of fun.
it'd be fun just because you get to build off of each other's cards.
Yeah.
So you get to absolutely deck a sealed deck.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
But
One of the, I just want to say, one of the most, I will say, one of the most exciting cards that was spoiled. It's not a Bright Lights card.
it's a promo for it.
We've got Diamond Hands coming from the old Rudy kit.
We do. We do.
One day, my pipe dream is to build a Rudy deck. I have the promo. I have the visor. I'm gonna have these hands. Yeah, one day. I wish they didn't have to be PSA because it really makes me want to grade them with PCG now, Rudy. It's weird your card says PSA on it, but you're a PCG
Guy now.
shareholder or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Well, that was
that
a good move by him.
It was.
How much
No,
of the
it's-
company does he own?
69%, baby.
Dude, is that true though?
Yeah.
No, but like, is
I
that
wouldn't
just
put it past him.
when I read that? I was like, this is for sure a fucking meme or something.
No.
And then like you just hear about it more and more, and you're like,
the
okay,
guy's
wait
a
a second.
fucking joke. I would not put it past him.
No, but
Oh,
honestly, in him,
not a
no.
joke.
I think what Bailey is saying is he's like a genius.
Yes.
He is a meme. He is a bit.
Oh yeah.
Him like
Like
The guy-
the
the guy-
personality that he puts out there, I guarantee you, is very different than like what he's actually like. Like,
well,
he-
me being such a fan of stand-up comedy is actually why loved him. When my buddy Dallas McKeever, Tyler, he used to play Magic with us, one of my best friends. He showed me Rudy years ago when I got him into Magic, and he's a big YouTube guy. He fucking loves YouTube, and I never watch YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. But he's like, you gotta check this guy out, you know. He like sent me some Rudy videos, and him just going off on these tangents, and then like he'll drop like the one-liners about like his stepmom being stuck in the fucking washer or something, and you're just like, what the. You're just like, okay, this guy's obviously just like trolling.
He's putting on an act.
But he's
Like,
also
he's very good at it.
But he's also giving us information and like
Yeah.
takes that are true. Like the guy's
as
is a
far
businessman
as the
for sure.
investment side of TCGs go,
Yeah.
he's very good at that.
Yeah.
And
True.
No, being a patron of his over the few years like that I have been, I will say that I'm definitely like up money. You know, if you want to talk about like investing with him or buying things and keeping sealed, you know, that's a big part of his company, Alpha Investments, is like, you know, and that's why people will hate him too, though, is he pushes a lot of things. It's like kind of the pump and dump feel sometimes with some of his videos, you know?
Yeah.
And like you have to kind of decipher. It's funny because he'll tell people not to buy things, and then he'll also be like, don't ever listen to anyone. And he's like, don't fucking listen to me either, though, sometimes. Like, if you feel like you should buy something, go just buy it. Do the
Yeah.
opposite of
Yeah.
what everyone else is doing. You know what I mean? And sometimes he's part of that, where he's
Yeah.
like doing what everyone else is doing. And then he'll come back and actually address it and be like, if you guys didn't listen to me, like, I don't know. He's a genius, man.
And I feel like with this, even him being, you know, with PCG, the Patreons even get a discount for grading.
Yeah,
Do
it
they
makes
not?
me actually want to send in my gold foil
Yeah.
bullseye bracers.
So-
I actually have a few days left. There's
It's-
a sale that ends at the end of the month.
It's a great investment for him. First off, because now that he has one inside the U.S., even all the Magic players are going to go through him with Alpha Investments. You know, it's just going to draw in
Yeah,
more business.
I don't know
for
how
him.
much Magic grading is going on nowadays in the grading in the
That's true.
grading
I don't think
world.
a lot.
Yeah,
Well, nothing huge.
like
has come out
modern
of the
day
sets.
cards. If it's not serialized, you're not grading those cards.
No.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the serialized cards are about the only thing that you're
Yeah.
grading these days.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let me read Diamond Hands. I didn't even read the card. I was kind of talking about Rudy. I also did want to say too before
We
I read
had to
this-
give him a shout out.
Yeah,
though. 100%.
I mean that's news. That's definitely news in the fab world. PCG is
Yeah.
a New Zealand-based company. It's owned by Matt Rogers, and
Yep.
he's a fab
Big
player.
fab player.
So
yes.
it's definitely connected to fab in a way.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're also getting gold foils still that are PCG. Like my Death Dealer has a 9+ guarantee on it, where if if I get it graded with PCG, they will guarantee it to 9+, which is nice. I mean that's cool that they
Yeah.
did that. It's almost like a quick pre-grade.
Yeah.
They go
Yeah.
over the card and they go, okay, this is at least a 9+. Let's put it in the, you know, that prevents players from getting a gold foil and it being damaged or nicked or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
which happened a lot in season 1 and 2. What I wanted to say before I read the card, this Professor card in the Professor deck coming out, and also the Rudy promo. Kind of like looking at the art of Prof, I like had this epiphany where I'm like, what if these characters are just actually like a part of the lore in a way? And what if they like introduce Rudy and introduce like the
Yes.
Prof in the story some way? All they have to do is give a small shout out about maybe a character going to like, you know, Rudy's shop or some stupid thing, or just
To gain the gems for his adventure or something.
It would
even.
make sense that they actually write the characters into
Yeah.
the lore, which would be like incredible. And be,
No, I agree. I agree.
I see that maybe coming in the future.
Yeah.
with the art in the the new Prof
It
card.
makes
coming out.
sense.
It's like two YouTubers that are promoting the game, and
Big YouTubers.
Oh, yeah.
that are
Yeah.
promoting the game.
the reason I got
Hugely.
into Fab was because of Rudy.
just with his kits and everything that were coming out.
Yeah,
because you were a
He wa-
Patreon.
well, yes, and he was pushing it. I got into the Patreon because of Magic. I was playing a lot of Magic back in the day, and he was really pushing Fab. I mean, he was the one that really made me like first like, put me onto it, and it put a lot of players onto the game, honestly.
Yeah,
But yeah, the early kits were always like super lucrative, like low price cost, but like you could sell it aftermarket for a ton. If you were like into that kind of thing, you could do it. I ended up just kind of keeping everything. I still have his original mat and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the
You left
mat,
it.
you've got
You
the
left it here
sleeves.
for a week, and I used it.
Oh, did you?
No.
Oh, did you?
No.
I don't care.
Dude,
Dude, that thing is beat to shit. My daughter,
I
My
know.
daughter?
You've sent pictures.
Bro.
I know.
bro,
Destroyed
she'll
it.
find my bag. Well, because if I leave my bag on the ground, it's it's toast. She'll come over and grab my tube, take out my Rudy mat, and just fucking walk around the house and just like it's a flag. And she's just like smashing it on the wall. She's got Cheeto fingers all like the thing is, but it's like so fitting for the Rudy mat, right?
Yeah,
for her to
factual.
just be destroying this thing every time. So like now I have to try to like keep it up high so she doesn't. She knows right for my play mat tubes. She knows them. She loves them. She takes off the lid. She takes out the mat.
Just knows them
She'll
every
put markers
inch.
in there every once in a while at the shop. I'll like open it and I'll put kind of dump my
Dump
mat
it
out of
out.
it. Here comes a marker with it. So I know she's been in it. She's not even 2 yet, but
I'm nervous for my
Marking her
child.
territory.
That's why I leave
Bro.
this door shut.
bro, you got another thing coming.
It's wild stuff. But
Okay, back to Diamond Hands. Let me read this. Okay,
Read
this-
Diamond
It's
Hands.
kind of a meme, anyways. It's not a part of Bright Lights, guys, but it's the Rudy specialization. It is a merchant equipment arms, blocks for 1, has blade break. At the beginning of your end phase, if you have 4 or more cards in hand, create a diamond token. So what do you do this at the beginning of the game? You just pass with 4 cards? Because it's the beginning of your end phase, you have to have 4 cards. So it means you can't do anything on your turn.
yeah.
Like, when are you making the diamond token? When you go first? Is that the bit?
Yeah.
Just go first, pass turn, have 4 cards, get the diamond token, arsenal.
What does the diamond token do?
I sold mine in Vegas, god damn it. I know. I have all the other pieces, but I was like, oh, this token, I don't care about this. It's not a piece of equipment, so like but I think it's 0, or it might even be 1, but you draw a card. I think it's pay 1, destroy it, draw a card. I think.
That's pretty good.
No, it's busted.
It's half a cash.
That's yeah.
mean,
No, it's really good. You pitch a blue and you're
Insane.
on and cooking. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the card is sweet, but it's not legal.
No.
So
I mean, that's a.
Yeah, not in Blitz or
Ultimate
CC.
UPF
I mean, you played
type
an
thing.
UPF.
But Cliff, was there getting back into Bright Lights here after our whole rant that we just had? Was there any key cards that really stood out to you?
Oh, there was a couple good attacks. Let me go see if I can pull them up real quick.
let me read
There
one.
was one of them that
No, go ahead.
one of the ones I was excited about was the penetration script.
Of course you were, dude. Penetration script.
Yes. So this one that it's showing is a 1-cost yellow. It has crank, so as it enters the arena, you can remove the steam counter from it to gain the action point. It enters with a steam counter. Destroy it if you do not remove the. But your mechanologist attack action cards get +1 when it's in the arena.
Oh,
Just all of them.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm excited
that's
about that
really
one.
good.
yeah.
So you can kind of like, so for 2 turns you can kind of maximize this out at, right? You get it for the first turn. You play
Wow.
it. Oh wait,
it
doesn't
have
have
go again, so you kind of do have to crank it to get the action point if you want.
Yeah.
Right. Then is this
It's
card even?
it's
is
a
it even
mini
good?
herbivore.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's good enough. Yes.
It's one turn.
the fact that it doesn't have go again is kind of worrisome. But no item does, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like because you have to play it at instant speed. I guess you could play it in Dash, right? And Dash breaks this card, the new Dash, because you can kind of play it at instant speed and then like still utilize that turn and then get the extra turn out of it. Like with Channel Mount Heroic, it just reminds me of like when you play Channel. If you can attack the turn you play it, it's like you're just getting extra value out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it being only +1 is kind of, I don't know. Does the red give it +2? No, that wouldn't make sense.
No.
No, it's only
yellow.
yellow.
I think it's just a yellow.
All the
There is
items are one
another,
color pretty much, except for the backup like protocols, yellow, blue, where they have different colors. but-
Same with the
and boom grenade
grenade.
and shield.
There's a
Dissolving
lot
shield.
that are. In all
That
three
is
colors.
also one that I wanted to note. Boom grenade.
Yeah, why don't you
Are
read that
you
card?
kidding me?
Boom grenade looks awesome. That was another one I was gonna bring.
boom grenade.
Boom grenade seems amazing. It's got the crank it out, and it's got this enters the arena with this
Zero cost. Zero cost.
zero cost red
Yeah.
pitch. It's got the red, yellow, blue, so a whole rainbow. This enters with a steam counter. We're looking at the red. At the start of your turn, destroy this unless you remove a steam counter from it. When a mechanologist card you control hits a hero this turn, deal 4 damage to them.
Boom grenade.
Dude, if they pitch stack this, and
Yeah.
they get it, because mechanologists are going to be pumping through their deck. So if you're stuck at 5 life, you have to be so careful for even taking 1 if this item is out.
Yeah.
Josh, just imagine hitting that item with the boost cost if you have a BIOS update down that turn.
That's true. BIOS update is a card still.
Do you want to know why I kind of don't believe in this card?
Why?
It's a common. A good example of a card that has a incredibly high ceiling, but it
Yeah.
almost feels like a trap when you read it.
True.
Doesn't it? A little bit like each attack that hits you deal an extra 4. Like
It doesn't block. It is an
I know,
item.
no, I know. I just do they make a card that's gonna like break formats a common? Because like when you read that, you're like, wait, how does this not just like how is this not busted? I don't know. But the fact that it's a common makes me think that there's something here we're missing, or that we're maybe
Hey,
just
maybe they cranked the power a little too high with some of them. Who knows?
pun intended.
Pun intended.
Some of them got turned up to 11 somewhere. It seems pretty solid.
No, like I don't want to say the card's bad at all. Like that's not what I'm saying. It's just when I read it, I'm like I have to kind of double take and go wait, and then I look at the rarity, and I don't know. It's a common. That's weird to me.
No factual.
Hey, did you see this card?
The quantum processor.
Read that thing for a second, dude.
So quantum processor is a 1 cost yellow pitch. So for 2 resource, it's got crank. This enters with the arena steam counters at the start of your turn. Destroy it unless you remove a steam counter, like most items have. And then once per turn, instant 0 cost. Put a mechanologist item with 0 or cost 0 or 1 from your hand into the arena.
It's an instant. So you pay 1, you get 2 turns of playing an item at instant speed, and it's free, right?
1 cost.
No,
The instant is yes,
and then
free.
you get to play a 0 or 1. So if you're playing your hyperdriver for 1, you're kind of
True.
you're getting around that 1 resource, right?
True. See,
Some of these M's, man, these yellow M's, I always
Yeah.
whenever you see a yellow majestic, I always like try to read it a couple
think
times because they
gotta
do that on
process it.
purpose. Yeah.
processor.
They make it all the puns.
The one yellow M that's got me really intrigued is system reset.
What does that mean?
So it's a yellow majestic with cost X. Banish X mechanologist items you control with cost 0 or 1, then return them to the arena under their owner's control.
Oh,
So you
you're
blink
like
your items and reset
resetting
all of your steam counters.
Wow.
It is an action without go again.
We were just
but
talking about how there has not been a card with X in the game. You just said that card cost X, right?
there's a lot of cards with X.
Not
Just-
just,
just
not
X?
just 1X. It's always double X. Or like Sonata is X in +3 or
Yeah.
something. Or
Yeah.
it's
There's no just X.
we were
card.
just talking about how
I suppose, yeah, the dash specialization is double
like the new
X.
Viscerai
was that last
speciali-
episode? That was last
yeah,
episode.
that was last episode. So the fact that like the new Viscerai specialization is XX, not just X, to create 6 rune chance. The fact that you have to pitch
Still think that card is booty
4
cheeks.
blues to even pay for it, to be able to get the like trigger to go for discarding 3 on the opposing like hand is nuts.
Card's terrible.
Not
Bad.
Not in LL.
I was thinking though. Okay, wait. If you even do it in LL, right, and you have Skeleta, don't you just blow up Skeleta for Sonata every time? But then, like, if you play it after that, you'd have to boots. What's the boots? Lets you play an instant action as an instant.
Spellbound creeps.
Spellbound creepers?
Maybe like creeps. Or
I
something
guess,
to
yeah, it
then
is an
play it
action
after you draw a
without-
bunch of cards.
Go again.
Yeah.
So you gotta. True. That's not very mechy though.
I believe that card becomes exceedingly playable.
It's that kind of
If
podcast, Cliff.
We're playing with
if
something
you
or what,
use
Cliff?
that if you
Cliff was
use the
just
crank effect
scrolling
for
through
putting
and
a
saw the
different
data doll
item
alerts.
in. No. But no, if you play an item with like the effect for crank where you gain your action point, there's ways to give mech actions go again with this new set that we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to gain the action point and to give it potentially go again, so you're still able to
you're-
do all the stuff
yeah, you're
you've got to
right.
do.
You're right. We
So,
should probably talk about the Art
We
of
also
War.
have a triple X card that I just saw.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's that one?
Magnetic lock wave. So it's XXX. Target
Pun intended.
target hero. There's so many innuendos in this set that I'm
Nah,
realizing
I think it's
now
just an
is,
innuendo kind of night. Dude. I don't think it's the set.
We're getting exquisite. We may say.
target hero chooses X equipment they control, then you choose one from among them. That hero must defend your attacks this turn with that equipment available. So it's like it's a magnetic shockwave that isn't. I don't know, because they get to choose. Like it's triple X.
Yeah.
So if you pitch a blue, they still only have to choose one
But
equipment.
what if they only have like 2 left or 1 left that they just do not want to block with and it has Blade Break?
Yeah,
True.
but there's
i.e. New Horizon.
there's a lot of mech cards now that specifically
gone.
target equipment,
That's true. Yeah, she'll be gone any second, right?
like T-Bone, Shockwave. This one now, they have a lot of ways
Yeah.
to get like just chew through your equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like that's like kind of maybe a common theme or something with mech where they're trying
Yeah.
to like draw out your equipment in opportune times, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, one last thing that I kind of wanted to note.
I wanted to cover one more card before we move on. I know there's like a million spoilers out there.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
barely covering any of them for you guys, but we're just kind of like going through some notable ones. We should probably talk about the Art of War for mechs, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
What?
It's called
Fabricate.
Yep. Yeah. Cliff knows. Cliff, do you want to read that one again? You're our mech player, so this is gonna be kind of.
Oh yeah, sure. I can read that one. Let me go ahead and pull it up again so I don't
That-
dodge it.
Yeah.
I guess I
read
will.
that one.
What's it called?
Fabricate.
Fabricate.
No.
Not that time.
Nah. I can't find it.
I
No,
can't
not
think of
Spark
anything.
of Genius. Oh my God! Hang on.
There it is. I got it.
So someone else read it. Yeah, read
right.
it. I don't have it.
So it's a 0 cost red pitch.
Instant.
Instant mechanologist instant. Choose 2. First option is equip a base equipment with proto in its name from your inventory. Second option is Evo permanents you control gain +1 this turn. Third is put this under an Evo permanent you control. +1 defense.
Pump your steel souls to 4 defense.
Yeah. So just add 4 more to that 24 that we came up with.
Tekla
28.
seems like he's gonna be pretty defensive. He's kind of gonna have a fridge.
And then the fourth option is you may banish an Evo from your hand if you
Did you
do
read the-
draw a card.
Did you read the third one?
I did.
Oh.
Put this I don't know. We were all talking. So the third option is put this under an Evo permanent you control. For any of those that say take away a card from your Evo
Yep.
to activate this ability.
So you get
Which
an
is
extra
huge.
ability
Yes.
activation on anyone you want,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Huge.
Very good.
The fact that if you're going for the, fatigue, control, blocking all of these turns, the Evo permanents you control gain +1 defense this turn while blocking, and it being an instant.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know it, man.
You can block a whole turn with just your Evos and still grip your whole hand to be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at this card and I'm like, does a card with a bunch of or a deck with a bunch of items that don't block want instants that also don't block? I don't know, dude. I feel like a lot of people are going to realize very soon
It's
that
gotta
all this non-block stuff is going to
It's rough, and you have to pick and choose which one you really
when
want.
you're playing your evos, they cost sometimes more than 3, right? Some of them, aren't they? A lot of them like 4 cost and up. So you're
True.
having to kind of give up your turn to even upgrade your or transform your evos. You know, so you're like not attacking on the turns just to gain this like defensive advantage. And I don't know if it's going to be enough. Like obviously, when you hit that 4 evos and you get the freaking singularity into whatever he does, like it's going to feel sweet, right?
See, I feel like if you direct your build based upon this instant almost. You dropping shit over there, buddy?
Don't worry about it.
So the fabricate, you kind of want to build your deck around it. I
Yeah.
feel like almost.
Yeah.
You build towards the goal. This is part of your combo for your deck.
No, I
of
agree.
what you
I
choose.
agree. And I'm not talking shit. I just again I look down at the block value and I'm like,
I know.
So
And that's
many
why I feel like you
non-blocks.
have to have a select few of non-blocks. And that is what you completely build your deck around. And that's what I've gotten from the extent of like even Cliff, your deck with Dash. Like I know which cards you're running for like your items because I played into it so much. Like I know your game plan. I feel like would this not be a card that you build your deck around to an extent?
I'm not sure this card is great into my current list.
I'm just saying, would this card be optimized to be able to build
We've got that
around?
like live TV delay for Cliff where it takes him a couple
I
seconds.
know.
You don't realize how much editing I
Sorry.
had to do in the last episode because Cliff was just blank for half of it.
I was lost reading the other mech cards. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I went down the rabbit hole, but yeah, this is Fabricate we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Is this a card that
For
you
my-
can build your deck around?
If you're gonna be building like a Teklevossen, I think this card is a must include. But for the other mech heroes, I don't think it's as great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be like obviously utilizing evos and stuff if you're playing this card.
Yeah.
Yes. And Dash just doesn't really have a way to make the proper use of the Evos and by extension this card.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's weird that we haven't gotten an adult Dash though. Is
Yeah.
it not?
If we don't get an adult Dash database,
I feel like we have,
I'm gonna be
though.
upset.
No.
I'm gonna be upset.
No.
We've
It
seen the
hasn't-
art.
But it hasn't gotten revealed. Dude, again, it's like the cynic in me that is just like, I don't know.
What if
I'll
What
believe
if-
it when I see it, dude.
what if
We'll just say
LSS
that.
pulls a sneaky on us and our
Dude.
adult item hero is a data doll?
Could you imagine?
Well,
Yeah,
Don't.
Cliff is like, don't you
It's
dare.
a secret fourth hero.
Don't you dare.
so
Don't give me hope.
So if we look at the cards here that are revealed on February so far, we have Dash Database, which is number 2.
Oh.
What always goes before number 1?
Oh. Well,
Well, zero
and
is the
then
Fable.
what's 0?
well, wait.
0 is Fable.
Aren't Blitz heroes first and then the adult heroes? It's always young and then adult. That doesn't make sense for it to be adult then.
No, because Max Nitro is number 4 and
So wait, what's number 3?
And young Nitro's 5?
Oh.
What's young Nitro? Is he 3?
He's 4. No, old Nitro's number 4.
And
Young is
Nitro
five.
is
There's a
number
chance.
5.
There's a chance.
so then we'll get adult data doll. Or,
So what is
James White has
adult
said
data-
you'll see a
Yeah.
lot more data doll.
What is number 3?
adult database.
Yes. No. Don't you shut
Number-
up. No.
number
Don't
3 is
you
the one
dare
that's up
speak
in the
into
air.
existence.
Number 3 and 1 potentially.
Yeah, what is
No.
going on here? How is that?
Wait.
1 and 3 are unaccounted for with this
With the
weird
Fable
Blitz
being
hero.
0.
Yeah,
With the
Fable's
Fable
always
being
0.
Yeah, the
0.
Fable's always 0.
So we have
And Max is 4, you said. Ah, what a puzzle.
what is
Watch
going
us
on?
not get a database, dude. Adult. I'm telling you, that would just be crushing.
Because the adult would be number 1.
Why would they do that to us though? Why
Well,
would they
also-
show the Blitz hero
also-
and then like make us think, oh, we're definitely getting one, and then
all
not
the
give us
all the
one?
adult heroes now are Majestics. So Max the Hype Nitro is a Majestic.
Oh, they
Teklo
are.
Vossen
What
is
the
named
hell?
Magnet.
His name is Max the Hype.
Yeah, Max the Hype for Hyperdriver, baby. Yeah.
I'm about it. I love it.
I love every aspect.
Hype in the
Have you guys
chat,
seen the
please, dude?
Have you guys ever seen the release video for Max Nitro? Jacob Bertram?
Yeah.
Can we give a round of
Yeah,
applause?
that was
to
good. That
guy?
was good.
That was
good.
the
That
best
good.
hero reveal of all time.
I didn't see it.
What? Don't look it up right now. Bailey, pull that shit up, but not right now.
Pull that shit up later, Bailey.
We got to put an end to our podcast.
Yeah, we're
here
we've been
soon.
going for like 2+, huh?
Yeah.
We should get our listener questions going here.
I don't. We have time for a couple listener questions here.
Yeah,
I don't know
we
how
only
many
have
we
a
can
few.
get it.
We only have a couple.
I thought we had like 4 or 5. Did we not?
No, dude.
Oh,
No, it's only like one or two.
with Sean's?
Sean didn't ask one.
Yes, he did, 100%. And this is a controversial one.
Okay, that's actually a good question. We'll start with Sean's. He
That's a really good question.
Sean asked the question in the wrong tab, but leave that up to Sean. That's fine.
Yeah.
Shout out Sean. Love you, buddy. Okay. Sean asked, "What is the best matchup for you to like?" Okay. he
If
asked
you're
you to-
playing your hero,
what's your favorite matchup to play versus what's your worst matchup to play?
for your hero that you
I
you
think
made.
what he means just what do you like to see personally?
for what you
versus-
mean, yes. That
Well, no.
this is how he described it to me.
Oh, he
at
actually
at
told
the
you?
shop,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I told him to ask.
Well, see,
it.
I don't have a main, dude. I mean, I mean Rangers. but-
Okay, yeah, but so for the Ranger aspect, what
Okay.
would
We'll
your
go from
best
there.
and what would your worst be?
As a Ranger, obviously, I don't want to see a Dromai.
Yep.
Azuri sucks. That matchup sucks. All the frailties suck.
Dude, fuck Azuri.
Azuri sucks,
like,
dude. It sucks
a-
to play against.
As a Ranger player,
Yeah. They steady keep the frailties on you, and it's hard to like leverage the going wide that and all the on hits being at break points when you have one frailty doing like all that work and turning off all your on hits.
sorry, I heard her name come up and I just
Yeah. No,
it's like when we
no.
mentioned
Don't be sorry.
that
Azuri sucks to
one-
play against
that
if you're a
one
Ranger player.
Rule shark that we were talking about.
Yeah,
a
that
couple
one.
weeks
That
ago.
one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Easy, Bailey. Easy.
Hey, Josh Bailey, cut that part.
No. You better fucking leave that. in.
No, you
no,
leave it
I'm
in.
not. I'm not out here to make enemies.
No, we are.
No,
But
you're
you know
the-
what?
With
No,
him.
fuck that
yes. Yeah. With
Not out here
him
to make
specifically.
enemies, but
I changed
fuck
my
that
mind.
guy.
I'm doubling down.
Specifically.
I would say right now I don't want to see if I'm playing Rangers. Like I don't want to see Azuri. I don't want to see Dromai. Bravo is obviously another bad matchup for me.
You know who's a bad matchup for
Love to see the aggro decks though.
you?
As
Because you either-
Azalea?
Dory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
And
That was
aggro-
because that was my thought. Like I love seeing like
well even
fives
with
and
like
shit,
Lexi.
because it's like I can just lock you down.
Yeah.
For like the entire.
Yeah, I
game.
played against a Phi in Mound that one weekend that our LGS was closed. And it was actually really close. It was 1-1 at the end of the game. But I was able to string together a couple turns of red and ledgers where, you know, a few of those. Once you get that like first one, if you can just find a codex, or I'm playing Memorial Ground as well, where you're able to just like constantly keep all your knocks,
Yeah.
are, you know, a red as well. So you have plenty of ways to find them every turn, and if you can kind of string together a few different turns with red and ledger, you can really take the game from you know, those aggressive decks. So I love to see like a Phi or Katsu, any deck that wants to go wide. Red and ledger loves to play against.
Yeah.
True.
What about you, Josh?
So for Dory, I would say worst matchup, Bravo, Oldhim. Terrible. Blocking out. Oldhim's not in the range anymore because he's LL.
How the
but
fuck do you ever beat Oldhim as Story?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't. You don't.
Like, dude, yeah.
It's harsh. And Bravo as well, just because he blocks out with all those unmovable, staunch response, like any of those. It's a rough matchup. The matchups that I want to see, for my list at least, is I want to see like an aggro, typically. So like a Phi or like a Katsu kind of.
about
Lexi
like a-
even.
like a-
I even like playing into Lexi.
That's crazy.
Just
to me,
because
bro.
they don't block.
That's true.
So if I get a glistening steel blade in the first 2 turns and I'm able to pump my attacks and just get
Yeah.
3 counters right away.
Because after you have them
It's
kind of
scary.
committed to not blocking, you get that first counter, then they really can't block, and then
Yep.
you know they kind of have the mindset of okay, it's just a true.
It's
race,
got that
and
break point,
it's
and then
on-
you even just push more damage with your Iron Song
Sure.
responses. You
Sure.
get your extra cards. If you have a Steel Blade Supremacy out on a turn,
To be honest, though,
Nuts.
dude, I still feel like Lexi just fucking
mollywops her.
yeah, she's just able to outrace her. Is all.
We did see a Dory in the Dawnblade in the
Yeah.
what was that? Close to the semi or the top 8.
Yeah.
I think she was 9-2, and then went 9
I thought we had like 2 Dories topping that weekend
Yeah.
that you were like talking about them.
no, she can have game into those decks.
I love that
if
you're
you
still
build.
playing Dory. It's
Dude,
What
why
about
not?
what a G.
what about Dromai?
Dromai is actually not a bad matchup.
No,
just
it's one of the
because
ones you want to see, isn't it?
because she on stream she did lose, but the fact that half your attacks,
just like let
if
you
you-
get counters pretty
if you
easily?
hit dragons and then you just pump your second, so you hit a dragon on the first turn to kill like one of their big dragons, right?
Yeah.
Second turn you just go at their face
Yeah.
and you just straight pump because of that weapon hitting. It's not hitting a hero. It doesn't specify that.
Yeah.
As long as you hit, you get to swing an additional time.
Yeah.
So you just go dragon, pump at the
It's
face.
like a free kill and your second
Yes.
hit always is like
Yeah.
automatic. I've
And you
I
run
remember-
Valiant Dynamos in that because of like the Aether Ashwings.
yeah.
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 Block with that, swing
Absolutely.
twice every turn.
I remember when Tucker was trying to figure that matchup out, and it was because of you.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell him maybe just like pitch all of your dragons and just like try to never play one, you know. And I think maybe that's the way to beat a Dromai, or I mean a Dory if you're playing
Yes.
Dromai, because if you give no targets for Dawnblade, it's a little easier to block it, obviously, you know. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you're playing dragon heavy Dromai if that's even possible.
You almost have to play Ember Moss, Centipie, and like all those
use
other
the
ones.
sideboard for it probably
Yeah.
or something, but.
It's you just have to block out. It is a tough matchup to an extent, but the fact that if they're playing Dragon Dromai, it is so easy
Oh yeah.
because of Steel Blade Supremacy. If you hit, you get to draw a card. That's an extra pump right at their face on the second swing, and if you even hit them, counter
Yeah.
right away.
Yep.
It's nuts.
Yep.
It's so good. But
What about you, Bailey?
I'm kind of in the same vein as you.
Yeah, you've been playing
on,
some Rangers, huh?
I've been on
Yeah.
Azalea quite a bit again lately,
Yeah.
and that Azuri matchup just fucking blows.
So I actually am more familiar with the Azuri matchup coming from a Lexi standpoint because I have not been playing.
Yeah,
I have
the-
actually.
the-
I don't
the
think I've played one
frailties-
game.
the frailties still suck.
I was gonna
As
say.
Azalea.
Well, I was gonna say it probably means less against Azalea. You have dominate, frailty, whatever. Like your dominate's still probably getting through if you have a frailty. You're never really going wide. I guess your frailty fucks up your Bolton shots.
Yeah.
yes,
But you're always pumping 3. So
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't because you're still getting the +2 if you have a frailty.
It makes it easier for even on the dominate turns for them
Yeah.
to block with like a card from hand and then one of their 2 block equipment.
I suppose because then it's coming in for like 7.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Like, it's still I don't know.
Yeah. Azuri sucks.
I'm not
for
a
any
fan of the
Ranger.
Azuri matchup in general.
It's hard to block.
Yeah, I ended up just not blocking
in
most of
any
the time.
hero, it is hard to block. Like
Azalea-
Uzuri matchup is rough for any hero. I feel like.
Azalea is a really good like mid-range deck too. You're able to like block with 2 cards and kind of like crack back with good on hits sometimes, and like maybe a pump in like a free arrow. And like
Yeah.
when you're forced to block, she can play some pretty good like mid-range turns, but Azuri takes that entire thing away. So I could see how like that could be super fucking annoying for Azalea
True.
still.
Yeah.
I haven't really ran into it yet though, because again I'm playing more like Lorcana every week. I have not been testing for ProQuest season, dude. It's bad. We gotta get on that.
We need
this-
to. Hopefully
next-
we can all
Talishar.
probably we're gonna
Yep.
potentially stream some Talishar games. We'll go into our gameplay almost and
We'll just
maybe
put it up
even
as
have
like a testing
testing.
video where we're
Hey,
just gonna be testing for
maybe
PQ.
one of us will commentate on one of the episodes. So, off of that question, Cliff, what was your worst matchups for the deck that you most play?
That would most 100% be Fi. Not even even before
which-
playing against
for which
Wesley as much
deck?
as I have for Dash.
For Dash.
For my Dash list.
Okay. It's a
My
race.
my deck is Yeah, it's a straight up race with Fi. Honestly, I should have been swapping out the plasma mainline start for just like a pounder, but I wasn't doing that, and it was really hurting longevity wise. But
And so are you like
that matchup,
are you like not blocking for the most part in that matchup? So it is like a true race.
it's like a true race, and it's really unfortunate with that I wasn't taking the time to
Did-
like
did
trim
it
the
just
deck a
delete
little
the whole
bit
thing?
into Fi.
Because it doesn't save.
Hold on, Cliff. Really? For real?
So that's like 2.5 hours of video. Just
Wait, what about like the actual audio, or is it like the
well,
audio?
the audio I'm recording separately. So I'm recording the audio in Audacity.
Oh, so we're fine for the
yeah,
audio?
the audio's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Fuck, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
No, you're good.
That was good shit.
But that's 2.5 hours of video. Just
oh.
It's okay.
Anyway,
we,
sorry.
We don't have to do video
Dude, I
for
totally
this
thought
next
the
one.
fucking episode was gone.
Oh, I thought,
Just
yeah.
dropped it in my heart. Ooh.
Okay, we don't have to do video for this one. We can do it on next one.
yeah. Sorry, I just realized that.
That's
He's
no,
like-
that's tough. No, I saw Bailey tip back.
I know,
would
and I'm
know.
like, oh
I was
no.
like, did our whole episode just
Oh.
stop? I was like, no.
Oh fuck.
No, thank God I was doing the audio in Audacity.
No, you have
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
The fact that you can edit it through Audacity, huge.
Do you know
Okay.
where you were, Cliff? I'm
Yeah, do
sorry,
you know-
dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, man.
I've got a rough estimate.
Okay.
So what I was saying is the matchup with Fi is really a true race. And
Right. Yeah.
to be fair, I wasn't like taking the time to remove the pieces in that deck that would stop me from being able to go.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, part of the reason my deck is able to go is if I'm able to set my board state.
Mhm.
So the way I have my dash list really struggles into pure aggressive, because what it does is it preys on the little bit slower decks.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're okay taking the game slow. I'm okay taking the game slow too. I'll block this turn,
Right.
attack twice,
Set
and
your
then
items
play
up.
an item.
Do your max V turn.
Yeah.
And
Once
like so.
I get those items up,
And you were
it's-
saying-
it's tough.
Yeah, you were saying you wanted to see, or you didn't want to see Fi the most, and that makes me think, or that it's like it's curious because Lexi's probably the better aggressive deck, but in the Lexi matchup, you're actually blocking, and you just play the mid range game better than Lexi, I think. So you're probably that's why maybe you are more scared of Fi because you're not blocking in the Fi matchup. So
Well, most
is
of
it
your
true
cards
race?
block for 3 over
Right.
all the
I'm just
Lexi
saying,
cards.
like, in
the biggest thing is Fi just has this eluding ability to just pull chain links from the cosmic realm.
No, I
Yeah.
know.
And just put them in
well,
on the board in front.
Yeah.
with Lexi, you're actually blocking on hits, so you're incentivized to block.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're like with your armor and stuff, you just play the mid range game better than Lexi. I think maybe it's closer to 50-50, and I just suck and I lose the dash all the time because I lost to a ton of dashes in Vegas on Lexi. But yeah, it's curious because like you said with Fi, like you aren't blocking in that matchup most of the time, so it like you said, it's a true race.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Fi has a mechanism that's different than a lot of other heroes. His on hits aren't affecting the opponent
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
They're making it easier for him to create more chain links.
Well, if you have
And-
if you have the mounting anger, and if that hits, that's a breaking point card where it's a 4 attack, and you get to banish a card that gives it +1. So it is helping you break those break points to be able to hit your mask trigger, or even if you have Mask of the Pouncing Links, you do your Salt the Wound trigger with Vi. So I feel like that's where it's like the hard matchups because they can go burr 1 turn, gain the overstep, and they just race you so much better almost.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lexi doesn't play like that, where it's more of like a gradual, like, go wide with presenting all these on hits, and when you're able to, like, out mid-range them,
Exactly.
it can be, a little easier.
And that matchup, Fi is just able to leverage his consistency versus
Yeah.
my burst damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think is, like, your worst matchup, Cliff?
Fi is my worst matchup, I'd honestly say.
Okay,
I'm
what's your
pretty
best
confident.
matchup?
Sorry, that's what I
What's
meant.
your
I'm
best
sorry.
matchup
What's your
then?
best matchup? That's what I meant to
Best
say. I'm sorry.
matchup? I'm torn to try to say like Bravo or even just one of like the ninjas or Bolton. Just to be pretty basic for it. I do like the matchup into Lexi.
Didn't he just
Just
ninja
personal
first?
preference.
Yeah. How, dude? You would say Lexi too. It's like, I've been really fucking having a hard time with Dash lately.
If you don't have any of your
It's a good
equipment by
deck,
turn
man.
2, what are you?
We're getting all these new cards, and it's just like, dude, how does this deck not become cracked?
250 cards for mech. This is going to be the
Wild.
most souped up class
It's wild.
to come.
All right, we are getting super, super deep in the
Yeah.
episode. We're 2 hours plus. Let's get just gonna get to these next couple of questions here. Not to cut you off, Cliff, but we
No,
gotta
you're
end this
good. I
shit.
was done.
We gotta. Dylan asked which Fable works best with which hero. Obviously, excluding the Viscera specialization. The old Shyana Shard, I like to call it.
Viscerai.
Shyana Shard. No, that's a Shyana card, dude.
Shard.
I think
Arcanite
Arcanite
Shard
Shard works pretty
It's a
good in
Shyana card.
Shyana.
yeah.
It's a Shyana card.
Okay.
But the one that comes
Heart-
to mind immediately
Heart-
is Heart and Icelander.
He made the comment
Automatic
Katsu. I was like Icelander, 100%.
no.
Dylan, sorry to disrupt you on that one, but
Yeah.
it is 100% Icelander without a doubt.
She actually utilizes it where she's proccing it every turn. She
Yes.
plays it for the most part. She's
Yes.
going to gain the one. You know, in Katsu, you're not guaranteeing yourself. You're gaining one even.
Yeah.
And you're not even guaranteeing yourself you're seeing it again unless you're really playing
Yeah.
defensively in
And
second
that's-
cycling. Icelander is second cycling. She will see Heart again for the most
Icelander
part.
kind of
and
wants to
then-
be in that spot where she's a little bit lower than you for like
Well, right. She starts low.
most of the game.
So Heart, if you pitch Heart early
Huge.
on, you're always
But-
gaining
huge.
one.
Yeah, like-
you know?
like-
And it's a great
I'm-
pitch stack card to be able to know where you are in your pitch stack.
That's true too.
I'm happy if I'm like 5 life under you.
Yeah.
Like if
The-
I
the
can
entire
maintain
time,
5
yeah.
life under you until we get down there, I'm going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
like
If you hold the overstep with even holding at the same life, you were
Yeah.
looking fantastic.
If you
in
make
that-
up if you
in that
make up
match
the
play.
4 life and you're at the end of the game where you're both sitting around 10 or whatever, like yeah, that's where you want
It's-
to be.
it's
Even if
wonderful.
it's like 1 to 10, like you can still
yeah,
kinda combo
you
them.
can
Yeah.
still combo them down from 10.
I would say
It's
the
easy.
Eye though, the Eye of Ophidia's easily goes into Kano the best. I think.
Kano,
I would argue
Azalea.
it's still cool in Azalea. It's
Yep.
like some spicy tech. I've always I don't actually have it in my list currently, but I should put it in there just to fuck around this season. It'd be fun to.
But it just synergizes so well with Kano's game plan.
Yep.
Honestly,
for sure.
I would love to see the eye in Uzuri. Why? Just to be able to optimize your hands better.
Like making sure you're having the
It's still three-
or not the contract. What is it? What do you need?
Contract or even like
No,
the
no,
stealth
no.
card to be
Stealth,
able to
stealth,
swap
that's
in.
what I mean.
Yes.
Like you're ensuring you have a
Yes,
stealth. with
like
maybe
if you have a
a
command and conquer in
Yep.
in your arsenal ready to go for next turn, and you just like Codex of Frailty, being able to opt if you pitch to make sure you have a stealth card for like another hand or even that hand with Codex.
I don't know. I think you want all the blue cards in Azuri to block,
True.
and I don't think
True,
I don't
true.
think Azuri's like breaking the opt like Kano does,
Yeah.
or like maybe
She,
Azalea
she
does.
doesn't even run Plague Hive though. See, that's where like the 3 pitch is more optimal than even the Plague Hive.
There you go.
That's I
So I feel like if she were to run one, it would be I.
think Plague Hive is very clearly a Riptide card. Like
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was
we'll
gonna
skip a few
say.
fables and just kind of talk about Plague Hive now since it got brought up. Well, no, we're gonna go through the fables and talk
yeah,
which
you
hero
think-
utilizes them best.
you think
Plague
about-
Hive is outsiders, so
Yeah. Riptide for sure. 100%. It's
honestly, dude, I've seen that card in Assassins as well. I've seen that card in
Yeah.
Azalea even.
Oh,
So-
I run it in
Plague
my
Hive?
Azalea list.
That's one of those like weird cards that doesn't give you too much value, but it's pretty sweet. And
Yeah.
people like it, and I just think people put in their deck because it still pays for their turn and
But-
gives you.
God.
It's a 2
It's
pitch.
super.
Azalea on a 2 pitch. Is doing
Mr.
great.
Hilton also pulled a cold foil Plague Hive during our like sealed.
2.
Yeah, pulled 2.
Literally.
One of them during our sealed events with
Fucking crazy.
a
They
quiver
were-
of abyssal
They were
depths
both at drafts.
in the same pack.
Yeah.
Madman.
Wild.
Yeah.
This guy's the
But yeah,
Fable
but yeah,
polar. if
so
you're talking
our
to someone.
sealed pool at Legends, same pack, had my rainbow foil quiver and my cold foil Plague Hive, and I was like, no shot.
I saw you. We were
You got to keep
table
both,
ends
though.
away, and you tipped
that?
your head
You
back.
get to keep both.
yeah.
In sealed,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. I was gonna say
He-
you better have kept both.
I watched Bailey just tip his head back, And I go, what?
Well, it was
And I
even-
like
it-
look at him from the other
It was
side
even
of the
better and
table.
sealed because I actually got to play
he
it
just-
because
he-
it was sealed.
He like covered up the plate guy and showed me the quiver, and I was like, that's nice for sealed. And then he slides it over, and I go, I just jaw hit the floor. I was like, no way. I was like, one pack, and he just shakes his head, and he just continues his drafting or whatever it was.
I remember everyone around me being like, "What the fuck what did you just pull? Like, what is this? Like?"
It's so cool when you pull a cold foil.
It's nice.
Fable.
And
like
then
that.
the second was at an RTN draft.
Yep.
It was I think it was our second pod. It was like my pack one. Opened it up, slid. I think the rainbow foil was nothing great. Kept going. I was like, "Fuck, there's another one."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I remember you sending
Too
that
easy.
in the chat.
Too easy.
well, I have 2 shards.
I've been with you for I think most of your Fable pulls, and
Yeah.
it's been wild.
Well, you called the one at Monticello. We
That is true.
we went to an armory at a game store a little ways away from us that didn't end up firing because they didn't have enough players.
Yeah.
And so we're like, well, we're gonna support the shop still. Like, we'll get some packs, whatever. And Josh is like, oh, get the Crucible packs. Get the Crucible packs. Like, they'll have the shard in them. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. So I get my like Crucible
Yep.
packs. I open everything else that I got first. I'm opening the Crucible packs last.
First
And
pack,
I
the
like slide it
Crucible.
over in the first pack, and I'm like, Josh, no way,
Oh, dude.
no.
That was back when they were
way.
like $600,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have
And
them?
then the second one, I was at Chaska, and I was playing a Magic pre-release actually, and just got absolutely murdered. I went like 0-4 or 0-5, and I was like, fuck, they got some Crucible. I'm like, I just got my teeth kicked in. I'm gonna get Crucible. I'm gonna pull a shard, and it'll make the whole day better. Like, whatever.
Oh, that's
3
great.
packs left
3
in
packs,
the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 packs left in the box.
Yeah.
Get my 3 packs. I don't even wait to get home. I go out to my car and I'm like, I'm fucking pissed. I lost Magic.
Dude, the car packs? Dude?
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Nuts.
me?
It's magic. Cliff pulled a
hunting-
grandeur.
Hunting for fucking Disney,
That's how I
dude.
pulled my
I couldn't help
Grandeur.
myself. I'd have to like fucking open it in the car every time.
yeah.
Couldn't help myself.
But I like open. It was the first pack again. Open the first pack and I see that little like kind of like gray border,
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
God, yeah.
I'm like, no way! I just got the second one. I'm like, I fucking called it.
This is when it
Well-
was 3 or 800.
This is when
too.
they were like 800 apiece.
Yeah.
Holy
and I was
shit.
like, oh my god, I have 2 now.
We know Shard goes into Viscerai.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best.
I think Library is amazing in
Prism.
Bolton.
Prism.
How did I know he was gonna say fucking Bolton, dude?
That's why I said Prism right
Yeah.
away. I was like, Bailey, don't even say it. I was like, Prism.
Dude, you had me going. I thought you were gonna say Prism.
No,
and then like
as-
last second,
As a combo player, I know literally nothing about the realm of Bolton outside of combo. So I don't know if like the mid-range Boltons want to run Library or not. I will never put that card in combo Bolton.
Yeah.
Because it just is essentially a turn of do nothing, and then maybe on your combo turn you have 5 cards.
yeah, I could, yeah.
Whereas everything else in that deck is to like make that combo more consistent, and I
It's-
can pretty
such a
consistently
high
get
ceiling.
at least
The
2.
fact that card doesn't pitch.
It's a high ceiling.
That card
it's a
doesn't
hard-
pitch.
Yeah.
I got it right here. Hold on. Let's read it.
So, Reach, come on, old man.
Dad mode. So it does
Well,
not
hey,
pitch.
hey, before
Which
you get
is
too
the
far into
biggest
that,
thing I found with that card.
You still have 1 Fable that you need to fill out for in between Welcome to Wraith and well, you get 2, but I got 1 I can help you out with.
What is it? A
I
shard?
know. Hey,
I still got that second shard.
I know you've been holding it for me for a while. I got some magic lands down there and a lot of like Black Tech Whispers. You need those?
A lot of them, he says.
Yeah.
More than 1 pair. In case your other ones get dirty.
No.
Hey,
no.
you know what? After this,
Multiple others.
step into my office.
Fair enough. But Great Library of Solana reads 2 cost. It's a fabled legendary. You may only have 1 at the beginning of your end phase. If a hero has 2 or more cards with yellow stripes in their pitch zone, they gain 1 intellect at the end of their turn.
Yeah. So early on in the game.
Card is phenomenal in Prism.
Well, yeah. Early on in the game, I would dunk on players with this card. Playing Prism.
oh, when you played at the shop, I swear to God, you got that out every fucking
If you-
game, like
if-
turn
well,
1 or turn
okay,
2.
Again, if you don't get it out early, the card can be a liability later on
Yes.
when you're like searching for tempo. You need something, and then you draw it up. It doesn't block. It doesn't pitch. So now you're
Yeah.
like kind of like forced into playing it main phase next turn, or it just sits like in your arsenal, which you can't
Yep.
have. So you're
Yep.
like, if you don't get it early, it can be a liability. The fact it doesn't pitch, I think it's the only Fable that doesn't pitch. If I'm
Corsham.
not correct,
Corsham.
Corsham doesn't pitch.
I don't think it
Neither
does.
of the landmarks do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, well, there you go. I
Only
was wrong.
gems. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a powerhouse in Prism. OG Prism, to be
Yes.
fair.
That also goes to say with Corsham, like
Yeah, I don't even know what deck uses that card.
None.
I've never.
I
Never seen
it
that
just
card be
finally-
it just looks pretty. That's
Yeah,
all.
it's a
That's all
it's
it
a cool
does.
card.
I finally got my hands on one, and I've
Honestly?
been wanting to make that card work in something for so long,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't do enough. It's too easy to
The
get
only
rid of.
time I saw someone playing it, I know a Briar player won a tournament with it. So maybe we just pick Briar because that's the only time we've had, like, any of us have ever actually seen it in the list.
Dude, I don't even know, man. Like
Um,
Corsham is not great.
no, no, it's not.
It's definitely the worst of the landmarks, and I would almost put it in the bottom 3 of
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
like. Even though Arknight Shard is a specialization, it still works great for Viscerize like plan.
Yeah.
And Shyana.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's good in those game plans. I'd put Corsham below Arknight Shard.
Yeah,
the
And
one I've been trying to
Grandeur.
do
probably the worst.
is-
Grandeur.
Fable. It's the
Yeah.
worst Fable in the game.
I've
I
been
would guess.
trying so hard
Light of Soul is pretty bad.
to make it work
Yeah, I
with
don't know much about that card, honestly.
Icelander.
Corsham? What?
Because you have to like continuously reveal cards to keep it around, and like Icelander's doing that when she fuses, but you can use it
Yeah,
to
but-
you can use it to like gain a resource or gain a it's not great.
No,
Trust me,
it doesn't
like,
seem great at
It
all.
is not great, but I
No.
live for trying to make janky shit work.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah.
Like
Facts.
So what
maybe not
Powering
quite as
Titan
much
Bravo.
as Ben, but
So the Fable after Corsham, obviously the answer for Corsham, we don't fucking know. Nothing. I don't know. Nothing plays
No.
Corsham, I
No.
guess, right now.
Grandeur of
we'll wait
all
just
high
watch one day.
Yeah,
it'll be
Grandeur.
Icelander.
Grandeur's next.
is Everfest and
Probably Bravo, I guess.
No Guardians run it.
I run it in
No,
Bravo.
If
but-
if they do, they run Heart.
If something does run it, it's probably Bravo though.
But the
Bravo
only
runs
reason,
Heart over Grandeur.
the only reason I run Grandeur in my Bravo is because I need to discount like pulverizes for my Towering Titan.
I will say it is
Yeah.
it was the one card that everyone was not screaming, but everyone was kind of like the talk of like the pages online would be about how are we gonna ever get a 4-pitch card, and this was kind of about the time at Everfest. And Grandeur actually sort of gives you 4. Like
Yeah.
all of them have this weird like they, except for maybe Library, but like the gems have this weird way of like having 4 value. Where like Shard can pitch for 3, gives you the Rune Chant. There's 4 value. Heart will pitch for 3. You gain 1 life. That's 4 value. Grandeur actually gives you 4 resources. Where you're pitching
Yeah.
for 3, you're getting an extra 1 the following turn.
Yeah.
Sort of. So it was weird to me that it wasn't played as much because everyone was like, hey, "We need a 4-pitch card." That's like a 4-pitch
That
card.
is,
sort
yeah.
of
Yeah.
pseudo.
Yeah.
Pseudo.
It doesn't
But-
turn on any hammer.
Hey,
is the thing.
Library will make
Fable
any
does.
card a 4-pitch card.
Not true. If we dive into Uprisings, Blood of Drakai.
Also just not played.
I thought
Also
for
not
sure when
Goes
that
back
set
to
was
how-
coming out that I thought Fi would love that card
Yeah.
to just like discount all of his draconic.
I think a lot of people thought that card was going to be really good.
and
It's not.
Yep.
nobody runs
Yep.
it. It just sits in my binder now.
You know,
It-
Yeah.
we can kind of just move on from that one.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm serious. What do we have after that?
Command and Conquer, obviously a staple.
Yeah.
For Dynasty.
For Dynasty.
I'm looking at your wall.
That's such an interesting
Looking at the
case,
sets.
though,
I'm trying to go through each
where
set.
We already hit play, Kai.
The Fable is like an already playable Majestic. Like,
Yeah.
not even just a playable Majestic, a staple in
Well,
the game.
right. I don't even think
And-
we can like
Yeah.
in the well, like Dylan's question was like really, I think, talking about the fables that were like not
Useful
reprints,
in heroes.
like
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Other than that, though,
We have the Light of Soul, like you said. That was our last one.
What does that even do?
it's a yellow pitch. If you, I think
has to do
you
with
get the draw.
charging?
Yeah.
So it's a Bolton card.
Hey, look down behind you, down in that binder, white one. Pull it out, flip the top, and read it.
Oh, okay, here we go. When this is pitched, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's yellow, you may put it into your hero's soul.
So you don't charge.
No, it's bad. It's like a Blood of Drakai.
Kind of
I mean,
helps Prism.
It's got
a little bit.
I think it's a perfect example of the cards of the fables that like have this remedial like or like this small advantage, and
True.
they just like balance them very well. And I think that's just kind of what that card does. It's a yellow, which is good, so you get to like turn on OG Prism or like Luminaris wants yellows. You do want cards in your soul. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem very strong, but
The one Bolton build,
I would say
That'll
Bolton
work
probably
with this
wants this
combo
more,
Bolton.
More.
than Prism.
Yeah.
because like mid-range Bolton definitely like specifically wants to charge, but like as a combo Bolton, I don't care if it's from charging or what. I just want cards in my soul so that when I play my Lumina
Yep.
Ascension turn, I can banish as many as possible.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
why I probably think this is a Bolton.
Yeah.
Fable
True.
over a Prism.
Even with the Banneret Bolton,
Yeah.
I feel like it plays pretty well into it.
All right, boys, we have one more question and we'll get out of here. Sorry to keep all you guys waiting. I know probably none of you guys are still here listening, but if you are, freaking kudos
Props
to you, man. Yeah,
Rock
thanks,
stars.
thanks for
We're-
hanging out with us, man.
We're
It's
trying to
been-
be the pod that comes out with 2-hour episodes if you're on a long work day, baby.
I would love that. Yeah.
Listening to it, having fun.
Our last question comes from Carter. He asked, "Do you guys think that LSS is biased when it comes to giving certain heroes or classes bling in quotation parentheses quotation? Sorry, compared to others."
The illusionists have gotten a lot.
Yeah,
Dragons, angels,
seems like
like
the answer to that question is definitely yes.
Yeah.
cold
They
foil
have been biased.
auras.
I think it'll
Considering
even out though.
I got most of my collection.
The
back
mechs are
here.
kind of catching up though with like the cold foil items and shit though.
The
Like-
Evos.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, the
Yeah.
Marvel Evos, cold foil items. Like, I
But
think in
it is
general
their
we're just
first
seeing
set.
more like specific like cold foils or Marvels for certain classes. Like,
Yeah, but it is their first set with only mechanologists. So what else are
Yeah.
they gonna do? The
Oh,
Marvel.
I bet Cliff
mean, they got
can't
extended.
wait for all these gold.
I feel like it's almost light heroes, to an extent.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the light heroes have extended art.
No,
you
but
talk
all the
about
dragons though. I mean,
yes, but you got all the Marvel Angels. You got the extended
what
art.
about the blue? What about the blue auras?
That's what
Those aren't light.
you got.
Yeah.
Cold foil.
Yeah, but they're not
he's
light.
They're not
bending.
light. They're just
They're not light.
illusionist. Like it's illusionist.
True.
It's not even just
It's
light
the
heroes.
class.
It's illusionist.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
but what
class.
about the Arclight Sentinel, Genesis?
Well, I'm saying that adds
Light
to
illusionist.
the non-light.
You got
ones,
extended art,
like dragons.
heralds. If you
No, I
go
know.
herald build,
Yeah, I know.
right.
you got all the light warrior.
I think we're arguing,
all the light
but
warrior
we
stuff.
agree.
Yeah.
so.
We're at that point in the fucking podcast where we're arguing,
Yes.
but we agree.
But no, I definitely feel like it is illusionist towards
Yeah.
light in general.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more bling for light illusionists than there is just regular illusionists.
Then I would say mech second.
Mech's coming
Mechs are
around, dude.
getting a
We're gonna
lot.
get some bling here. You excited for that, Cliff?
I am.
Here he comes down from the hallway again. He had to run from the other side of the fucking hallway.
No, it's because of my mic
I'm-
arm. To mute my mic, I flip my arm up, and
Ah.
so then when I'm like moving around or shit, I've got it up, and then you guys will pop me for a question. It's like,
I'm
oh,
sorry,
shit,
dude.
flip it down.
I'll hear you in the background. I'm like, fuck, Cliff's here. You know, it's hard when you're not in studio. You know, we're all
Yeah.
here bullshitting. It's fucking like we haven't heard you make a peep in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, what happened to coming down this weekend?
We're
Like
not
I
gonna
said,
get-
it was-
we're not
It
gonna
was
go
just
there.
gonna be too long.
Smells like bitch
Just
in
gonna
here.
be too much. I'm not there, so that's between you three.
Oh,
my
dude, he
goodness.
got us there.
You
How
gotta
do you
come up
even
to
come back
Duluth
to
for
that
the armor?
from that? Oh man.
Anyways, sorry.
But no, I would have to say illusionist for that last little note there, Carter.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting some bling for some other classes coming up, and I think that'll even
Hopefully.
out, like I said.
Hopefully.
All right, boys,
Give me
let's-
cool Ranger shit.
Let's get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's been a long episode.
Yeah, it has been.
We wanted to do a fun late
3
episode.
hours unedited.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We are getting into it here, so we really appreciate you guys tuning into episode 8.
If you're still here.
Yeah, hopefully you're still here. But we'll always have the Discord in our bio, in our link. We'll have our Twitter up, hopefully going up pretty soon. We'll do some polls.
we had one tweet. We had our first tweet.
Did we?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Is
Are
it
they,
even
even,
ca-
are they
is-
even called tweets
I
anymore?
was
What the
just-
fuck
you-
are they called?
You picked that thought from my brain, dude. I was saying what you were saying. You just beat me to it.
I don't know.
I know I tweeted on X. No.
I asked.
I X'd on X. What?
Elon,
No.
what the fuck are you doing, man?
It's
I'm gonna go
Twitter.
on a rant about this shit again.
Yeah,
It's
we need-
Twitter.
No
It's
more
Twitter.
rants.
I'm out.
No more rants for them. Yeah, put the headset down.
But we really appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 8. We will get into some more spoilers hopefully next week, and
We'll have lots to talk about.
we'll just talk about a ton of
We'll go
stuff.
over our pre-release, and it'll be all pretty much bright lights next weekend.
We'll let you know what Marvels are pulled, and maybe some legendaries, hopefully,
Oh yeah.
question mark.
Oh yeah.
But thank you again.
Maybe the unannounced Fabled.
Hopefully we get the Fabled, and we'll talk about that. That'll be very controversial as well. But thank you
I'll
for
shank a
joining
bitch
us,
for the Fabled, FYI.
and we're heading out. Signing out. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.